Fret not, friends. The Fan is still live and local with Fan Sports Saturday. The name might not be great, but what if we included Tyvis Powell, a 3-year starter for the Buckeyes, defensive MVP of a national title game, and the man who brought down Alabama.
Ball in the air toward the end zone, and that ball is going to be... The Buckeyes get it. Coming out of the end zone with a football for Ohio State is Tyvis Powell. He goes racing up and is tackled at the 30-yard line, and the king of the SEC has fallen.
It's Fan Sports Saturday with national champion Tyvis Powell. Oh, and Eric Reeser.
It was this time last year that our eyeballs got an official introduction to Jeremiah Smith. I'm excited to see how Ohio State follows that up this morning into the afternoon over at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. Happy Saturday, everybody. Eric Reeser, Tyvis Powell, you heard Cole there in the update. We're 1 week out from now you can call it a spring game. Thrilled about that. But this morning at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center, they're about to open doors in a little over 90 minutes for one of the cooler events I think the Buckeyes put on in the year that's not an actual game. Allowing students, as long as you've got a working Buck ID, to get in.
It's got to work.
And to watch. Yeah, I think you need to be able to at least like scan it or...
I still got mine. I don't know if it works.
Did you ever have to replace it, or do you have the one that they gave you day one?
No, I had to replace it like twice.
Did you lose it? Or
yeah, I lost it.
I kept my OU ID until my senior year, and then I lost it. But it was something I was proud of, that I didn't lose that. Because when you're 18, you lose damn near everything.
Well, mine's went. I think I probably went about 2 years, and I lost it, and I just could not find it. And you got to pay to get a new one, but you got to update your picture. So it was like, okay, that's nice.
Change a little bit. Yeah. 4 years, university.
The chin strap actually connected at a certain point. When I first took it, I had nothing.
Baby fuzz.
So I was proud to actually update that picture.
So we'll see what Ryan Day throws out there in terms of who's taking reps with whom. How does Julian Sane look? How does Lincoln Keenholz look?
I'd imagine they'd be indoors.
Yeah, they're at the covered facility.
Yeah. I mean, it's not raining.
They did the covered facility last year.
It's not raining. It's just
sprinkling.
It's wet.
Yeah, but I don't think you can necessarily ask students to sit out and get rained on.
It's not raining.
It's Tyvis. They've done it for the past couple of years in that building that has a roof on it.
But you get more people like when you, I don't know, the spring Student Appreciation Day, I've done it both ways when I was at Ohio State, where it was indoors and it was outdoor. And the outdoor one always felt better. Like, I don't know. It's the atmosphere felt a little bit better because you can, like, it's more people. Like, I feel like in the indoor, like, you got to kind of like.
Well, that is true. You can fit
what you can
more
fit
people outside. You can set up bleachers. You can do kind of what we did last August at Ohio State's training camp and make it, I'd say a wider variety of seating sections. Mm-hmm. Certainly, it's nicer to do everything outside. But in this instance.
So the casual fan who's not a student, they couldn't come to this?
I don't think so. Okay. I think it's credentialed media and Ohio State students.
Okay.
Now, next week, anybody can come as long as you pay for a ticket.
$8.
Now you're calling it a spring game. $8 in fees. Saw that on Ticketmaster. It's like, well, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, hey, $8. Is it? Well, okay, so let me ask you, because I've never done this. So
you've never done what?
Bought a spring game ticket.
No, yeah, your face is the admission.
Sure, but like $8, is it open seating or is it like
no?
So you have to pay a little.
You
bit?
pay $8 and you get your choice of seating. So I think $8 gets you B deck and C deck.
Okay,
and then I think the more you pay, I think you get A and double A and access to premium seats.
I was just curious. I didn't know how it worked.
Now, if the weather holds the way it's supposed to, I think you're going to get an okie dokie day next Saturday.
It's 53 and cloudy or something?
Yeah, it'll be mid to upper 50s, partly cloudy.
I got to make sure I bring a jacket. I'm going to be on the side.
I would recommend everybody be properly prepared for the elements. It's interesting. So Jack Sawyer's going to throw out the first pitch Tuesday at the Guardians' home opener against the Chicago White Sox. So it's a 4:10 first pitch in Cleveland. Snow's in the forecast.
Really?
That also rains in the forecast. It's supposed to be upper 40s, I think, Monday and dropping down to the mid 30s by Tuesday. It's snow opening day in Cleveland, a tradition unlike any other, which is, I've always thought it's silly that baseball does the season so early. I think if you put it to mid to late April, I don't think anybody would have any real complaints about it.
I feel like it's at a point. All sports now is at a point where they need to do some heavy adjustment.
Yes.
Like, I think it's time. Like baseball, 162 games. I don't think you need that much. Basketball, 82 games. I don't think you need that much. Like, slide the season back a little bit, where they start, where they end. Like, I think that it's time for improvement.
Yeah.
You got a lot of wiggle room.
I agree with all of it.
Yeah.
Like
college football, for sure.
Will start. I
sure.
would say in 5 years, we're starting second week in August with actual games. Like week 1 or week 0 is that second week in August.
Yeah.
Because you've got August 30th, which is a very early date for your home opener for the Ohio State football Buckeyes against Texas. And so everything kind of points to that. When you look at what's going to go on today.
They're going to put that game at noon.
Fox has it, reportedly. I'm not saying you can't guarantee it because it's April 5th. But all signs would point to, if Fox has that marquee matchup, they would put it in their prime spot. Now, Bo had an idea yesterday. You just call it Big Noon at Night.
Sure.
Right? Because you have the brand. You'll have everybody. Gus and Joel can do the night game.
Big Noon at Night.
Big Noon at Night.
I mean, it's...
Sounds fine. We all grew up with Nick at Night, so is it that different to say? No.
Well, I mean, when you say Big Noon, just call it Big Midnight.
Well, I think Fox is insistent on keeping the Big Noon as their marquee brand in college football because it's their time slot. Like, if you asked Fox execs, I'm sure they say, we invented noon kicks. It's fine. CBS has their 3:30, and then ESPN and ABC want to have that 7:30 primetime window.
I just think they really... Like, don't get me wrong. They're going to get the ratings. It's going to be great. But
yeah, it's 1 versus 2.
It's just the atmosphere. The atmosphere even will be fine. But she's just like, man, you really are missing out on.
I agree.
It's just something that it's maybe it's small in the grand scheme of things. But, like,
I think it's
you robbing these fans of a really electric experience.
I agree with you. It's small in the grand scheme, but I do think that 95% of Ohio State fan out there, and certainly the ones listening to our voices at 9-10 in the morning, would say, yeah, it stinks. Put Ohio State and Texas at night. The last 2 times you saw Ohio State and Texas in the regular season, they were primetime contests.
Now, for me...
Middle of the day primetime.
For me, it doesn't matter because I will be somewhere else anyway. I'll be
West Lafayette, brother.
Probably. I'll be somewhere in the Big Ten anyways, and that will be that. So
I think Oregon's got a game in Eugene that day. So I guess I'm hoping for you to be out there.
No, because then that...
Why?
Because first of all, this is why. They won't play at noon out there. Because that's...
Right, they'll play it.
That's 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
There is no way.
Hear me out, though.
In this
you get to wake up, go on a 5-mile jog.
They're not.
And then be ready at 9 o'clock when you're having your breakfast.
They are not.
To watch Ohio State, Texas.
They are not playing the West Coast game at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm telling you that.
Oh, no. I'm saying just for you.
What about it?
When you go out to Eugene for week 1 with the Big Ten Network.
Okay.
Ohio State's going to be playing Texas in Columbus on Fox.
Yes.
It's a noon kick Eastern time.
But for
you, it'll be a 9 a.m. kick.
I still got the tailgate show.
At 10 o'clock.
Yeah, but
here.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock there.
Yeah.
So you'll be done by the time it kicks Ohio Stadium.
I was going to be done anyway.
I'm trying to paint the picture of you having a really good football day. Because
it'd be a really good football day because I'm talking about football and
so there's that.
So therefore,
you're getting paid. You're getting paid to talk about the sport that you love, but to be able to wake up 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock Pacific time, and then 9 o'clock Pacific time when you're off the Big Ten Network, you get to watch Ohio State and Texas, and then you have the rest of the day to do whatever you'd like.
Fly home.
Well, okay.
Because I have to do Brown stuff the very next day. Yeah. Yeah. You forgot about that part, didn't you?
It's not that I forgot about that part. August. It'll be a preseason game likely, the 31st?
Yeah, probably. But it wouldn't be on a Sunday.
The Kenny Pickett experience.
No, because
it'll be a Saturday night for Browns preseason games. Unless they want to send you out to Seattle again. Although that could work out in your favor. But it'll probably be the second or the first Browns No, the second Browns preseason game will be the week 1 of college football, I think. Calendar works out like that.
Second Browns preseason game.
Preseason week 2, college football week 1, or to be preseason week 1, college football week 1. Anyway, not the most important thing. What is important, I think, for everybody today is see how the quarterbacks look in front of students. Because you can't fool eyeballs. And I think this fan base is smart enough to know a quarterback when they see it, at least at the college game. Now, we're all, I think, become terrible NFL quarterback evaluators. Like, just generally, as a collective, we're not great at it. Clearly. So we'll have plenty of that to go on to this program.
That great at it? The 32 teams in the NFL.
Well, I'm casting a wide net. I'm saying we, as in everybody who looks at it, is just not great at it. Evaluating what works from the collegiate level to the pro level. Mm-hmm. You know, because guys you didn't expect, like Mahomes, or the unicorn in the sport.
What was he, the third quarterback drafted?
I want to say so. We could look that up in the break.
Mitchell Trubisky, Deshaun. Second. No, I thought he went. Did he go before Deshaun?
Let's do the Google.
You said before Deshaun?
It can be your friend.
Trubisky 2, Mahomes 10, Watson 12.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
So that's, great whenever you can look at that and say, well, who'd the Browns end up getting?
Myles Garrett.
And now it could be an instance this season where you were talking about Carson Wentz. It could all come back to that for Cleveland. But the Browns had a busy day yesterday looking at Shedeur and Travis Hunter in Colorado. Things are getting a little late for the Blue Jackets, and the Final Four will be played today. All of that coming up in the next couple of hours. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
1-800-GOT-JUNK makes space for possibilities.
When our clean, shiny truck arrives, it's the sign of a new beginning, a clean start, a breath of fresh air.
All the animals start giggling, a rainbow appears, and music fills the air.
Your best friend calls with happy news. Every table has fresh flowers on it, and your nights are full of candlelight.
We bring the springtime.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Picture this. You walk into a Tim Hortons and get a warm toasted English muffin or a buttery biscuit layered with fluffy fresh cracked eggs, melty cheese, and savory sausage or bacon. Now imagine that breakfast sandwich for just $3 when you buy any size coffee, hot or cold, because when you're running on empty, you want a breakfast that does more than just fills you up. So start your morning with Tim's, because you deserve a breakfast that's as good as your day is going to be. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Offer valid only during breakfast hours. Exclusions apply. Additional terms apply.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived, the only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, 3-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, 2-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to lifesearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit lifesearch.com today.
Hi, Kevin. How's my engine doing?
Well, you tell me, little lady.
What?
Ma'am, an engine is delicate. It's got a lot of parts rubbing together.
Oh, is that so?
Lube her up real nice, and she'll purr like a kitty cat.
How do you know so much about engines?
Well, I spent a lot of time under that hood.
Babe, she is running hot. Let's go. And next time, I get to play the mechanic.
Rev up the romance with Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, 80% lean Kroger brand ground beef is on sale. 3-pound packages are $3.99 a pound with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Huntington is banking that just clicks. Like early pay. Moving up payday so you could get your money faster. Up to 2 days faster. And there's no cost. It's your money, right? So stop playing the waiting game. It's just one more way we're looking out for people every day. Is your bank looking out for you? Maybe it's time to switch. Visit your neighborhood Huntington branch or make the switch at huntington.com/yourmoney. Direct deposit and eligibility requirements apply.
We're catching up with that famous deep-sea explorer, Jacques Black Jacques. Jacques, where are you today?
In Columbus, how?
You're in Columbus. What could you possibly be exploring in Columbus?
The April showers bring flooding to Batmans.
Oh, I see. Spring rains mean basements are flooding.
This not necessary. Apex Pros.
Not necessary. Call Apex Pros.
A simple zoom pump chick.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble understanding. Zoom pump check. Sump pump check. Are you saying sump pump check?
Oui.
Yes, of course. A sump pump check from the pros who knows at Apex Pros.
They come to your house.
They come to your house.
They test your zoom pump.
They test your, what is it again?
Zoom pump.
Some pump, right.
All with a 5-star guarantee.
All with a 5-star guarantee. Now, see, I understood that perfectly.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Showers continuing this afternoon, a bit breezy as well as temperatures warm into the mid-60s. Then we'll fall into the 50s this evening with continuing showers, and the rain threat continues overnight as we dip into the 40s, and temperatures will stay in the 40s throughout Sunday. Then, as rain tapers off Sunday evening, a few wet snowflakes are possible, but no accumulation is expected. I'm meteorologist Mike Joyce on 97.1 The Fan.
Matty Ice has a large tattoo on his calf of LeBron eating a lion. I have nothing else to say. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean we shut up. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
You know it's truly spring when you see Tita Green on the Fan's programming calendar. The venerable Skip Mossick will have the first episode of, I really think, the Welcome to Spring right here on the Fan next Saturday at 9 o'clock. That'll waltz into the spring game tailgate show. That'll be live outside of Ohio Stadium till 11:45, and the network coverage will take over of our Ohio State spring football coverage. Paul and Jim will be on the call of that earlier this week. You saw the official release from Ohio State that says, yes, it is a spring game.
Sign of relief.
It was sometimes, again, marketing people can get a little ahead of themselves.
They weren't sure because it was so much talk about
Matt Rule's fault.
We just came off a national championship. We didn't want the guys' bodies to rest, blah, blah, blah. So they was really flirting with what they wanted to do. And at the end of the day, a lot of these young guys, I mean, you hear some of these older guys talk, and they talk about how, it's a lot of young guys out here that haven't won anything. We haven't done anything. That was last year's team. And you think about how many of those guys that they have to replace, they have to get them game reps like as much as they possibly can. Now, you want to do it in a safe environment, which the spring game is a quick whistle anyways. So they're going to be able to get some good work in front of a large crowd. And guys that contributed a lot last year won't play, maybe not play at all, maybe play little. But you need to play a game.
We had asked this yesterday on Bishop and Friends. if Ohio State should put black jerseys.
No, I about tweeted y'all about
on
this.
Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith.
I about tweeted y'all about this, but I said I'm going to leave it alone. No. No.
You don't think they should?
No, because for what?
So we had
both positions are barely contact anyway.
Okay, but this is just an extra step to ensure safety.
No.
We had 150 votes to this thing when I took the screenshot. 80% of those 150 votes said yes, put them in black jerseys.
No.
Now, I agree with you. You can't be scared of football.
When you play passive like that, that's when you get hurt. You got to go out there and just play. Like
I agree.
What it is. Like I'm not. First of all, I don't even think they'd wear the black jersey. That's the thing. Like you can't even. You gonna tell me go out there and play with put this black jersey? It's hard to get players to wear the blue jerseys when they're in concussion protocol. You think you gonna get them to wear a black jersey and they 100% healthy? No, it's not gonna happen.
It was interesting. Caleb Downs had addressed that this week. Because it was Ryan Day that said he'd been kind of banged up, but he'd played the most snaps of anybody last season. And when you're 2 months removed from a national championship game, your body needs time to heal. Mm-hmm. And when someone had asked Caleb about it, he's like, "No, I'm fine. Just a lot of football. I'm just kind of trying to take it slow as you ramp up into another season."
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think when you're out there in front of what probably will be 80,000. I might get a little excited, but that's football. And so I don't think they should be scared of doing that.
Throw me a bomb on the first play, and then that's it. I'm going to warm up real good. Maybe not the first play. Let me get the first third down.
To your point about Jeremiah, there's not too much that you need to see from him.
No.
But I think for the fans in attendance, you might want to see a deep ball or two thrown his way by one of these two quarterbacks.
It's like
I think similarly today at the Student Appreciation Day, you give the fans kind of what they want in this instance because they're paying the freight for this.
They better not let him catch that ball. I want that. You
want that battle, right?
You know how last year we watched those clips and it was him doing that to the DBs? I want it to be the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Where they throw it up and the DBs is just there.
You got to provide them that opportunity.
Granted, I know that people will be like, "Oh, our quarterbacks are not good." I don't care about that. This is practice. I want to see DBs that go up and get interceptions.
I think you want to see the opportunity, right?
Yeah.
You want to see if in that moment, can a DB go into his job, or is Jeremiah Smith going to just continue to make NFL caliber defensive backs look silly?
I think people got to realize that at Ohio State, you're a pro. Bo talks about it all the time. They run everything like a pro team does. And you want to avoid collisions at all costs. So when I say that, if you throw up a deep ball and you know that you and this wide receiver are going to collide. Like say Caleb Downs gets a great break on the ball and he's over the top, and if he jumps, him and Jeremiah Smith are going to collide in the air. As a DB, you have to concede to the wide receiver. You just let him catch it because you understand that this collision could lead to more injuries for one of us. So it's not worth it. But everybody in the world can see that I would make this play. Everybody can see that I'm there. I have a great chance of making this play. So if it's in those situations, which I think Ohio State understands that, they're going to avoid collisions. But if he throw up just a regular pass and this picked up and you can pick it, go get it. Go get the ball, please. So, yeah, I think that we are overdoing it with trying to protect these players. Like, these players understand how to protect themselves.
I agree. And I think for Ohio State, you'd overthink it, with everything. And you shouldn't. The spring showcase, I don't know what that is. If you're asking fans to purchase tickets to a spring showcase, I don't know what I'm buying. Yeah. It goes back to the return on the investment. We talk about that with the transfer portal all the time. What am I paying for exactly? I'm giving Michi, I'm giving Aaron Bradshaw thousands of dollars. What am I getting? Well, I'm hoping to get some sort of return, but I don't know. With the spring showcase, all right, what is this? I'm going to buy tickets to go into the Horseshoe for what? To watch practice, to watch them stretch, to watch them run drills.
Isn't it?
But now a game, I know what I'm getting.
It's still practice.
It is, but it isn't.
Oh, really?
Have you ever been to a spring game as a fan? You get your first chance, next week?
I've been to a spring game as a fan.
Okay.
I went last year.
30 years of growing up here, the spring game has always been something more than just practice. So for the fan base, I speak to that point.
It depends.
Where
when it becomes, when they say it's live,
Well, so it becomes a little bit more of a game.
That's the game right there. It's live. Like Cardell go out there quarterback. 12's live. It used to be the funniest thing in the world. He'd be the only quarterback without a black jersey.
I can't believe that. I mean, I can, but I kind of can't. That they just let him go. But also, like, understanding that he probably wanted contact and he wanted to run over people.
No, he didn't. But
he didn't want to get hit?
I mean, if you go put him
into survival mode.
The thing about him is, if you go put him in that environment, he will drop his shoulder. Now, he ain't got no problem doing that, but he don't. Nobody wants to do it because they can sack you. Like, it ain't no quick whistle. Like, it's take him to the ground. It just goes back
to my initial point. Don't be scared of football. And I'm glad, and for here on out, you call it the spring game. Ohio State has a spring game. The second
Nebraska is really not having a.
They're not having a. Everybody is calling it something different.
This is amazing.
Nebraska, USC, Texas,
so they're doing
Oklahoma State. They're going to have a spring something. What that something is going to differ all over the country. Wow. But for Ohio State, forever you've had the spring game, and they get the spring game.
They aren't getting like TV coverage for whatever they're doing.
Not that I know of. I know Colorado's getting ESPN2. They had their spring game idea turned down by the NCAA, but I still think Coach Prime should just say, bleep yourselves. We're going to bring Syracuse in. We're going to sell tickets. We're going to split the proceeds with the NIL collectives, and we're going to have a scrimmage.
I don't know. ESPN2 will get great ratings.
I agree with you.
They sit back and be like, you know what? We ain't mad at that.
Now, Ryan Day was asked about that this week, too, and he liked the idea, but he stopped short of saying Ohio State was going to do something like that because they kind of just need to work everything out. Like, you got to work out some finer details.
Yes.
Like, both sides need to be an understanding of how hard you're going to go at this thing, an understanding of stud tackling, of black jerseys,
it's going to be thug.
Of NIL, revenue split. So all of that, I think, needs to be worked out. But I think in the next couple of years, you're going to see at least two different games that are going to feature two different programs.
Well, I think that the idea has been sparked. Yeah. The reason it got turned down was because they said it was short notice. So I think now is the time where you work on it. Like, all right, next year we doing this. We doing the joint thing, and you got ample time to figure out all those things, but you get it ahead of it, get in front of the NCAA now so that they can't come back with that same excuse.
Yeah, the short notice thing's malarkey.
I agree, but
student-athlete excuse is malarkey, but I do agree with you in that the idea's out there, let it percolate, let people kind of figure out the finer details, and then next year you can do something that I think would be a big hit no matter where you do it at. In 2 minutes, I'm going to tell you something Ohio State should do every single time the transfer portal opens. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at masheterford.net. Thanks.
Hey Sports Cards fans, I'm Jeff with my buddy Adam, and we run Huggy Kissy Bear breaks on the Whatnot app. What's a card break? Simple. We open boxes of cards live, you pick your team, and we send you all the hits. With over 2,300 five-star reviews, we're all about you. New to card breaks? No sweat. We've got you covered with a sweet welcome package from us. Download the Whatnot app and follow us on Instagram and TikTok to view all of our past Sugar Bear hits. Huggy Kissy Bear breaks, where collectors win big.
Is your AC ready for summer? Don't wait for the heat to hit. Weak airflow? Warm air? Strange noises? These are warning signs your AC needs attention. Our skilled technicians offer AC repair services or replacements to keep your family cool all summer long. Don't sweat it. 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning has your back. Here to keep your home cool all summer. Visit onehour.com to schedule today. Financing options available.
At Rocket, we believe everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. So if you're feeling locked out of home ownership, we're here to give you back the keys. We're opening doors, breaking down walls, and doing everything we can to turn renters into owners. And we're not going to stop until we help everyone home. To find out more, visit rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan. Instead of annoying national people talking to you this weekend, we've opted for annoying local people. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
All right, so spring game next Saturday, Student Appreciation Day today at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. We'll keep you abreast all throughout the morning of anything that comes to our attention that has any near the same effect that Jeremiah Smith did last year. Because it felt like every 10 minutes there was something new up on social media of him making some sort of Jeremiah Smith play that you saw so many times this past football season.
Well, the closest thing that we'll get to that is if Devin Sanchez is making those type of plays, because he's the one incoming freshman that's got a lot of hype. You've been hearing some good things about him. Mm-hmm. So if he makes some type of great play like that today, good break on the ball or get some good picks or something like that, that would be equivalent. It won't be spill your popcorn like Jeremiah Smith, like, oh, my goodness, he just
I don't think anything will get to that point.
It's hard to do that because, who would that come from? That'd have to be like, I don't know. I don't even know. Quincy Porter, maybe. Somebody like that doing something like that.
But I am looking to see how the quarterbacks look.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people are going to have their main focus on, seeing what's the biggest difference between Lincoln Keenholz and Julian Sain. Mm-hmm. And they want to see Tavian St. Clair as well because he grew up right around the corner. So a lot of people are going to have attention there. But to me, I just want to see some plays. I just want to see who's making plays. I want to see Matt Patricia's scheme. How is he getting these guys open? What is he doing differently that Jim Knowles did? Is it complicated? Is it just let them guys go out there and play? On the offensive side, you kind of know, but I want to see this kid from West Virginia because Austin Ward was on the Buckeye Show yesterday, where you could go wherever you get your podcast.
If you have questions about our friend Austin.
He addresses we talked
everything.
About it yesterday. A little bit yesterday on the Buckeye Show.
Everything he can, I should say.
So go wherever you do your podcast, go look up the Buckeye Show and check that out. But he was on with you and Tito last night.
Yeah,
it was a great time. Oh
boy, they picked the two least serious people for Austin to do a show with.
We had some fun on that show yesterday.
Austin will join a much more serious program on Monday. Bishop and Friends at 10:30. So here's the thing: Ryan Day is going to talk on Monday. In the past 2 weeks that Ryan Day is scheduled for a Monday start,
he's been late.
It's been all over the place.
Yeah.
So we'll have Austin Monday. When? That's very much TBD. But I was just like, how's Tito?
Tito, man. Tito. Him and Tito.
When you need something serious handled, you call Jeff Thetoff.
It was a good show.
Of that, I don't doubt.
But anyways, he was talking about the running back, C.J. Donaldson. I think that's his name. The guy from West Virginia. He was talking about how he believes that he will be running back one and he will have like a breakout moment. Now, how are you going to see that today in a thud? I don't know, but you can definitely tell an athlete when you see an athlete. So I think they'll do things to put him in space. And I want to see some clips of him today. Maybe he makes somebody miss in the open field. I don't know, but it'd be nice to see it.
And I think, for C.J. Donaldson, for James Peoples, for Turbo Rogers, who I don't think is here yet.
Bo Jackson.
I do think you won't see, are they going to be able to break tackles? But they're going to be able to pop. They're going to be able to bust through the line. They'll be able to, catch out of the backfield. And that kind of thing you'll be able to see this weekend. You'll be able to see if you're there Saturday. You'll also be able to see it next Saturday at the spring game for the guys blocking for those running backs. Mm-hmm. It's something that I think now with a 16, 17 game season, an expanded college football playoff, that's probably not coming in 2025, but in 2026, 14, 16 games, Ohio State, every chance it gets, should go into the transfer portal and pick out offensive linemen. Now, they got Phillip Daniels and Ethan Onyeonwa from this past portal period in December to fill out their tackle spots. Mm-hmm. But those guys need to do so much catching up to get to a point where the coaches, I think, trust them in the offense. That's why you've seen Austin Sareveld at times play on that play at one of the tackle spots, even though he factors to being an interior guy.
Yeah.
The expanded season and losing Josh Simmons and then losing
Josh Fryer,
and then
Donovan Jackson.
you're going to need guys not only to play the spots that they're comfortable with, but learn other spots on that line.
Yes.
And so I think whenever the portal opens, you've got to go and just get guys that have played offensive line in college on a lot of it. So they can factor in anywhere. So when you're putting your offensive line out there, however it looks, you got your best 5 linemen.
Yes. I think that's always been the way that Ohio State has tried to do things is, maybe this guy isn't the best tackle, but he's our best offensive lineman, So let's slide in this guy. It was like Donovan Jackson. Yep. Donovan Jackson didn't play tackle, but he was one of the best 5 linemen, and we were more comfortable putting in guys to play that guard position, but we weren't comfortable putting in one of these guys to play that tackle position. So let's just slide Donovan out. He obviously did a really good job, phenomenal job out there, and it allowed them to be able to do all the things that they still wanted to do. So I think that's why you see in this spring, you see so many guys, you're going to play guard, you're going to play tackle, because you need to get those reps because you don't know who's going to get hurt. Right. If somebody gets hurt, it can't be, well, we lost our starting guard, so now we're derailed. We can't do anything. That can't be the answer. You have to be able to have guys that can rotate through there, that can get things done. I mean, heck, they were rotating guards in a playoff game last year. So therefore, it tells you that they're doing a really good job now. Obviously, Justin Fry is not the O-line coach. You got a new O-line coach.
Tyler Bowen and everybody else on that offensive staff is working on the offensive line.
Yes.
And because you have to.
Yeah.
Because it's
so
last
important.
Season showed you just the importance of having that kind of versatility.
The game is won in the trenches. It's been like that since the beginning of time, and it ain't never going to change.
And it's been a heck of a month for Tyler Bowen, who comes in from Virginia Tech on the recruiting trail and working with this offensive line with a brand new offensive coordinator at a brand new place. Here's Bowen from earlier this week talking about his priority for the spring. His priority for the spring. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. That's never happened before.
You couldn't get it to go.
I couldn't get it to work. Performance issues, man. Only on Saturdays.
Is it the Thursday or Friday folder?
Well, no, we'll get to that. We'll figure this out later because that's neither here nor there.
I was looking like
for Bowen,
the
right thing is, we'll figure it out. But always for now and ever, you go portaling.
Yes.
You go portaling for offensive linemen. And that could even be the same with the defensive front.
Well, the thing about the portaling, though, what makes it so interesting is that costs a lot of money to get some of these guys. Especially
college football costs a lot of money, son.
Yeah, but like the tackle position, that's a very key and important position to where now you see why they're spending so much time trying to hit these guys in high school. They're trying to land these recruits in high school because it might be a little bit cheaper than to going into and getting the best tackle out of the portal. Like that's going to cost you a lot of coin. And with the revenue sharing, with all this stuff that's going on, the pie is going to get cut. You know the analogy about the pie. You can't.
I'm not familiar.
If you take one piece of the pie, there's less pie for everything.
Well, the bigger slice for one person leaves less for other players. No, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I think that they're realizing like, okay, yes, it worked, but I don't think they think this is sustainable. They want to be able to allocate those dollars somewhere else to be able to get somebody else if they need to. So I think that's why you see them really locking in on trying to get the kids out of high school.
Well, I think the first thing in spring is you try to install your core, your base, the things you're going to come back to, the things that you're fundamentally also building the play-action pass game off of, the formational sets that we want to have runs out of. So that's been the goal through through first 3 weeks. It's going pretty quick, but that's been the goal is to get that foundation back in. Reteach it. Every player's got to approach it like they haven't heard it before. They're going to learn something new. So we're getting that foundation in, and then now once the foundation's in, you start putting up the drywall and the crown molding and all those things. You're building a house and a structure that you hope can stand. But spring to me is about the foundation, making sure that we're giving them the structure, the schemes that we're able to draw back on, and then start tweaking the run game from that foundation.
That's Tyler Bowen on the most important thing for the spring. And if you ever watch like those house flipping shows on A&E, you always realize that you're going to run into some issues
all the time as
you go along the way. So he's absolutely right with laying that foundation. And it goes back to, I think, several times this past offseason. Before the 2024 season, Ryan Day kept talking about laying the bricks for the foundation that ended up being a national championship. So you've always got the same message, everybody you talk to on this. The Buckeyes landed some big fish this week. We'll break them down next at Sports Saturday on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman here for Germain Honda of Dublin. So what's the difference? There are other Honda dealers around. Well, Rich Newsom and his team want to earn your trust. They don't expect it, and they earn it by giving you a great price, and then they back it up after the sale with same-day service, no appointment necessary, a great variety of brand new Hondas, and hundreds of pre-owned certified Hondas to choose from, all at the same location. Identify yours at GermainHondaofDublin.com. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Buckeye Lake Marina Open House is Friday, April 11th through Sunday, April 13th. Register to win some cool prizes and the grand prize of a weekend getaway at the lake, valued at over $3,000. Includes an Airbnb, a boat for the weekend, and $1,000 in lake area gift certificates. Buckeye Lake Marina will have the indoor showroom packed. Plus, you can visit the Docks and Marina store during the open house, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, April 11th through 13th. And you could win the grand getaway at Buckeye Lake. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for details. April 11th through 13th at Buckeye Lake Marina.
I'm an old school Joe. I never lay juice I don't want to lay. I don't hate my money like that. I'd rather lay minus 108 than minus 110, wouldn't you? Prime Sports is Ohio's full-time reduced juice sports book. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Picture this. You walk into a Tim Hortons and get a warm toasted English muffin or a buttery biscuit layered with fluffy fresh cracked eggs, melty cheese, and savory sausage or bacon. Now imagine that breakfast sandwich for just $3 when you buy any size coffee, hot or cold. Because when you're running on empty, you want a breakfast that does more than just fills you up. So start your morning with Tim's, because you deserve a breakfast that's as good as your day is going to be. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Offer valid only during breakfast hours. Exclusions apply. Additional terms apply.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
Fish has been named the third best sports program director in the country. The two dudes who finished ahead of him are dead. So we're declaring him the winner. You're listening to the home of champions, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Save big money on your next staining project. Now at Menards. Provide exceptional color to your staining project with Minwax Color Series. It offers a rich color with just one coat. Get a quart of Minwax Color Series wood stain in over 240 colors. On sale now through April 6th. Save big on Minwax wood stains. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
We're catching up with that famous deep-sea explorer, Jacques Black Jacques. Jacques, where are you today?
How?
You're in Columbus. What could you possibly be exploring in Columbus?
The April showers bring flooding to Batmoons.
Oh, I see. Spring rains mean basements are flooding.
This not necessary. Apex Pros.
Not necessary. Call Apex Pros.
A simple zoom pump chick.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble understanding this. Zoom, boom,
chick.
Sump pump check. Are you saying sump pump check? Yes, of course. Sump pump check from the pros who knows at Apex Pros.
They come to your house.
They come to your house.
They test your Zoom pool.
They test your, what is it again?
Zoom pool.
Some pump, right.
All with a 5-star guarantee.
All with a 5-star guarantee. Now, see, I understood that perfectly.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
I'm an old school Joe, and my philosophy is simple and effective. At the end of the day, it's not what you win or lose, it's what you save. And betting reduced juice at Prime Sports Ohio is the way to save money on every single bet. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution Specialists.
Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
This is a pretty big week for Ohio State, for both the football Buckeyes and the basketball Buckeyes. On Friday, 3-star linebacker C.J. Sana from Olentangy committed to Ohio State in the class of 2026. It's always cool to keep an Olentangy kid in town.
He's a future Joshua Perry.
There you go. Not a bad thing to be.
Josh is very successful in his life.
He was successful at Ohio State.
He should run for mayor.
Mayor of Columbus?
Well, he probably win that too.
The thing about those positions is they say best and brightest. I'm not sure that's the case anymore when you talk about current and past people in those roles, because I think best and brightest know better than to not have to do those positions, because they're very thankless. Yeah. They don't pay probably as well. Like for Joshua, those NBC checks probably do a little better than what the city might provide you.
You never know. They might come.
You don't ever know.
They might come up with it's negotiable. It's negotiable.
Everything is negotiable. But C.J. Sana's commitment does put a bow on a really nice week for Ryan Day and company. On Thursday, 4-star safety / linebacker Simeon Caldwell. He committed. He's the 7th best linebacker / safety in the class. Tim Walton's nephew out of California. Good to land that big fish. On Wednesday, Chris Henry Jr., the 5-star wide receiver, also from California, shut down his recruitment. He had official visits to USC and Oregon scheduled for the summer, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case. He's the top receiver in that class, so it just stacking another 5-star wide receiver in that room that's put so many. Like they had a graphic up of the first wide receiver taken in the last 10 years of the NFL draft, and the last 2 have been Buckeyes. And probably will continue.
Who was before Marv?
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
He was not the first.
He was the first taken off the board. Yes, he was.
At
I had to go back and look at that too. Yeah.
Wow. Good for him.
So that,
good for him.
That could factor to continue.
He went so late.
Egbuka goes off the board as the first wide receiver in this draft.
Well, I don't think that's depends. Nah,
of course it does. It always depends. But he's in the running.
What are you counting Travis Hunter as?
Yeah.
That's kind of if you count him as a wide receiver, he probably going before anybody.
Probably.
Yeah.
But then next year, or well, I guess when Jeremiah Smith goes, he'd be the number 1 pick. Like if I'm a team that doesn't factor, what Jimmy Haslam did this week with the Browns, I think is a precursor for what's to come. Like the Browns should have written down on a card for 2027 Jeremiah Smith.
No matter what.
Just ready to go.
Jeremiah Smith,
just have
no matter
that
what.
Because they'll be in the top 5 next year.
And Mack, no matter what.
Similar teams that find themselves in a couple years rebuild, like the Browns are, should be ready to pick Jeremiah Smith. But back to the Buckeyes, and for their recruiting on Monday, 4-star safety Blaine Bradford committed. He's the top safety in the class of 26 and one of the top recruits out of the state of Louisiana. Anytime you can get a player, one of the best players from the Deep South.
Brian Kelly doing bad.
That's a good start to your week. Now, for these guys, they're all commitments. Now, Chris Henry is shutting down his recruitment.
Yeah, he's been committed for like 3 years.
Yeah, for what means to me for all 4 of the guys I just mentioned, though, is the schools that are still in the running probably still believe they're in the running, despite what's been said, despite what's been posted on social media. It would just make those, collectives have to up an offer.
Yes. Well, the Chris Henry Jr. one is so big because you think about just the schools that the visits that he had with Oregon and USC. And to be honest with you, I think it probably came down to us in Oregon, which a lot of times it's going to come down to us in Oregon because what Oregon does, Oregon has that blank check that they can write, what you want. And it's so nice to understand that Ohio State does a great job of developing things, especially at the wide receiver position. And Brian Hartline has a great relationship with all of these guys. And I think that's what we're seeing here overcome the fact that maybe money isn't everything. Obviously he's going to be taken care of. Ohio State does a great job of taking care of their players. They're not going to be hurting for money or anything like that. But they also can come here and also get the development because you see it. Everybody he's worked with has went first round or at least
has made themselves good money in the NFL.
Yes, and they're doing well in the NFL. Yes. So I think that if I'm a kid in high school and I play wide receiver, why wouldn't I want that? And I think
DeCorian Moore.
DeCorian Moore was different because I think he looked at it like he wanted to build his own legacy. He wanted to be the best wide receiver to ever play at a school. And if you go to Oregon, you can have that opportunity to do that. To where if you come to Ohio State, that's very hard, especially as of recent years. Like it was Chris Carter. Then you seen the Marvin Harris. He said nobody ever be better than Marvin. Then you got JJ. That's hard to try to beat all of that. To where if you go to Oregon, you can do a couple of things and be considered the best wide receiver to ever come through Oregon because. Who is their best wide receiver? Tez Johnson? Is that their best wide receiver?
I just invoke Moore because he said earlier this week that Dante Moore, the quarterback of the Ducks this year, is going to win the Heisman.
I mean, that's what he's supposed to say.
It echoes
he's supposed to say.
Everybody's got quarterback questions in college football right now.
Hey, he was a high recruit, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they all are.
Dante Moore, right?
Look at the quarterbacks in every single room of every single national championship contender. They were high recruits. So everybody's got the talent, we think.
Riley Leonard, was that good talented or highly recruited?
A lot of people wanted him.
Well, I got to go see where he was in him coming.
Well, you have a computer in front of you.
I don't have a login.
You'll get one soon enough.
It says Jonathan Smith.
Who's that?
For the head coach of Michigan State.
For Jake Diebler and company, they picked up a big literal commitment in 7-foot German center Christoph Tilly. Played 3 years at Santa Clara. Was the 7th highest ranked center in the transfer portal class.
7th?
7th.
Okay.
Why'd you ask?
I thought you said second.
No, 7th.
Okay.
But what is a portal ranking? What I look at is in 3 years at Santa Clara, he averaged 12.5 points. Or he averaged 12.5 points in his 3rd season in Santa Clara.
Okay.
Now, the West Coast Conference, I think the Broncos were 3rd this season. Now, West Coast Conference, Gonzaga, St. Mary's, those are the top 2 programs. And it was funny as we were talking about it yesterday, because at this point, you just have to go and get what's out there is what's out there. And you've got to do the best job you can at the transfer portal. And I saw a lot of people poo-pooing the Christoph Tilly acquisition by Jake Diebler and company.
Well, I mean, the question that everybody wants, can he rebound? That's the question that everybody wants to know.
Almost 5 a game last season for Santa Clara.
7-footers, 5 a game. You got to get some more guys that's committed to rebounding.
Probably.
Yeah.
But you've got Sean Stewart. You've got Ivan Yagovin.
Okay.
Coming back.
Okay.
This, though, of Tilly, if you do watch some of his highlights, and obviously those are just the highlights. Like nobody has a low light tape unless you're Odell Beckham Jr. and your dad makes one for you.
It wasn't a low light tape.
It was a low light for Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so. Yeah. Back to the basketball Buckeyes. Back to Christoph Tilly. People were saying, "Well, it's the West Coast Conference. How's that going to translate to the Big Ten?" All I'll say is, look. He's a guy that Ohio State wanted and that Ohio State got. So you land the fish that you're going for.
Yes.
West Coast Conference has 2 national champions in shorter span than the Big Ten. Gonzaga has 2 in more recency than the Big Ten, which claims Maryland's championship. So they play good basketball out there. So I do think that this is a really good acquisition. There's still more work to do. You bring in Gabe Cupps. That helps in your backcourt. That helps with the depth. He comes in off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
So more work needs to be done. More work can be done. You've got till April 22nd until the portal closes, but that doesn't mean you can stop plucking people from the portal. There's like 700 Division I basketball players in the transfer portal. It's going to be unfortunate when that thing closes on April 22nd. There's still a couple hundred guys left in there.
It happens every year.
It's like, where are you going to go?
Happens every year.
Yeah, and again, unfortunate. But for the basketball Buckeyes, a step in the right direction to making this a better roster than it was last season. You had Aaron Bradshaw's in the portal. He has not found a home yet. Michi Johnson in the portal. He's at South Carolina. Evan Mahaffey is playing with his brother Eric next season, the University of Akron.
I am very interested to see where Aaron Bradshaw goes.
So am I. After that, then I don't really care, but interested to see who or what exactly is offered for his services.
I hope he goes somewhere, and I hope he's able to turn it around.
Agreed.
I hope he's able to put on some pounds and be a complete center.
Can Houston put the clamps on Cooper Flagg? That's next. It's Sports Saturday on the Fan.
The only show where sports talk is eclipsed by food talk. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
When your sump pump is no longer sumping and pumping, please don't become a sump pump grump.
A sump pump grump thinks whacking the pump will make it start working again.
But it never does.
Get Eco.
ECO. A sump pump grump will let a faulty sump pump completely ruin a perfectly good day.
Fortunately, I've invented a solution.
No more sump pump grump?
No more sump pump grump.
Get Eco.
ECO. Tell me about it, Jerry.
The solution is that you get Eco to do a sump pump inspection.
What would that include?
We check your pump, your battery backup, and all the downspouts and drains along the way to make sure everything is running clear.
How much?
That's up to you, Aaron.
Jerry, Eco would be happy to do that for just $89.
That's a great price.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
Go to geteco.com.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, three-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, two-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to lifesearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit lifesearch.com today.
Is your AC ready for summer? Don't wait for the heat to hit. Weak airflow? Warm air? Strange noises? These are warning signs your AC needs attention. Our skilled technicians offer AC repair services or replacements to keep your family cool all summer long. Don't sweat it. 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning has your back. Here to keep your home cool all summer. Visit onehour.com to schedule today. Financing options available.
At Rocket, we believe everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. So if you're feeling locked out of home ownership, we're here to give you back the keys. We're opening doors, breaking down walls, and doing everything we can to turn renters into owners. And we're not going to stop until we help everyone home. To find out more, visit rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Happy Saturday to you. I'm Cole Bartemus. The Blue Jackets are hockeying tonight, and they will do so north of the border. Jackets at Maple Leafs at 7 o'clock. We'll have that game right here on 97.1, and our pregame coverage will begin at 6:30. The CBJ need these points. They are 2 points behind the Rangers, who are 2 points behind the Canadians, who are in that last wild card spot. So for those of you good at math, the Jackets are 4 points out, but they do have a game in hand on all of the teams that surround them for whatever that's worth. Elsewhere in the world of sports, we have the Final Four from San Antonio tonight. Both games will be on Channel 10 on your TV guide. We got a little SEC flavor in the opener. Florida and Auburn at 6:09. Florida's a 2.5-point favorite in that. Then Duke and Houston will cap off the evening at roughly 8:49. Duke is a 5.5-point favorite. And the women had their Final Four yesterday, and they were two demolitions. South Carolina defeated conference opponent Texas, and UConn cruised past UCLA. So those two will compete for the national championship tomorrow afternoon.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
A very eventful 48 hours for the NCAA, as you heard Cole there in the update. They'll crown a women's basketball champion tomorrow at the Amalie Arena in Tampa. It'll be South Carolina or UConn, Dawn Staley or Gino Auriemma. Feels like you say that every year. One of the two is involved in the national championship. They're the standards in the sport. They'll crown a national champion for the men on Monday night. They'll have the national semifinal tonight. Again, as you heard Cole there in the update, it's a lot of blue bloods. All one seeds for the second time in history. It's exactly what I think the country wants in terms of casuals and diehard basketball fans. You got four of the best teams. And then on Monday, when they crown the national champion, they will likely have already put to bed the House versus NCAA settlement. It goes in front of a district court judge Monday morning. She will finalize the agreement that will see $2.6 billion go to former college football, college athletes from such a time until 2016.
You did this on purpose.
Which might leave friend of the program, Tyvis Powell, on the outside looking into the settlement.
Why she got to finalize 2016? Why
that was
not
what the lawyers...
15.
That's what the
just
lawyers...
do one more year. Like, just do one. And then it's the part that killed me. Is they go, oh, yeah, we're going to do if you played in that season. I'm like, why couldn't it just be 26? Because I still played for January 1st.
Uh-huh.
Like, I could have,
You are one day outside the statute of limitations.
That's baloney. That's baloney. That must be nice. I'm glad that they all are going to, receive probably close to $100,000 probably.
It could be, six figures for a lot of them. 75% of the $2.6 billion is going to be paid out to former football players.
Must be nice.
A fifth of that's going to.
Knowing what I know today, if I knew this back then, I'd have stayed another year, just for the simple fact that it's $100,000 on the line.
But you didn't.
I know.
So
I'm kicking myself. This is the first time I've ever regretted my decision.
Well, you shouldn't, man. Look at where you are now.
You should.
Oh, no.
I could be $100,000 richer.
But you don't know if you'd have spent that on something silly that would have just.
In my mind today?
No,
I could have saved that.
You're 20-year-old Tyvis Powell.
What do you mean? I wouldn't get the money till now.
You get the money now. That's true.
I wouldn't get the money. Yeah. So I would take that money and put it towards my kids' college fund.
But that would be a good use of it. I'm hoping that those football players that are in the shoes of acquiring some of that money do something similar.
They rich. They got.
Well, you never know.
I'm thinking about just all the players beyond me. Like after I left, they're all still playing in the league. They're rich.
Not all of them.
A great chunk of them.
Well, some.
A great chunk.
Sure.
Wait, and I'm not even being funny here. You didn't regret the decision after you went undrafted?
No.
You didn't think at all, man, maybe one more year my stock would have risen?
Mm-mm. Because I think at that point, I was what I was. Like going back to college is not going to change anything. Like that's who I was. That's the thing. Like, and it was funny because I was talking to my agent about this probably a year or two ago. We were talking about this. Because he always likes to forget times. I don't know how it's like he said it's one of the biggest question marks in my life as an agent is how you didn't get drafted. I still don't know. But anyways, he says, I think I come up with an answer. He said, for you, he said, I think you were what you were. You see some of these guys in the draft that you see kids from guy that was in Germany that played rugby. He get drafted in the 6th round. It's like, it's an unknown there. We could take that guy and maybe get something. With Tyvis, it is what it is. This is who he is. You know what you're going to get with him. So, that's what it is. It wasn't no high risk, high reward. That's who he was. So, me playing at Ohio State for another season, Just wasn't going to change it.
Did you feel growth between your redshirt sophomore year and your redshirt junior year?
Did I feel growth?
Or did you just feel like, oh, like I'm still...
I crossed over when I felt like I was like, this is it, was the day I had that interception against the Wolverines. After that game, it was like, okay, like, yeah, I can be really good in college football because, as my coach would say, Everett Withers, I don't know where Coach Withers is now, but Everett Withers would say, he said, one thing I'll say about you is, it ain't no stage too bright for you. Ain't no stage that's too big for you. Ain't no lights too bright because the bigger the game, the better you play. And I started thinking about those things. If you go back and just look at some of the things, I played well in some big time games. So.
Withers was last the interim head coach at Temple.
Okay.
So he's no longer there because they've hired somebody else.
He'd say, don't cut the pie too many ways. School,
You're really
rest,
feeling that pie analogy
football.
there. In terms of college basketball, what would it be for you? Because Houston's the best team, the best defensive team in the country. What would Cooper Flagg's point output tonight have to be to where you feel comfortable saying Houston will advance to the national championship?
Under 20 points.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
If you can hold him to under 20, you've got a chance.
But the thing about Cooper Flagg would make he does other things really well. He's a great rebounder. He's a great passer. Like,
and he does a great total team.
Yeah, like it's like the Joker. Well, I ain't gonna say he's the Joker, but like the Joker, you could take away his points, but he could beat you just passing and rebounding. You could take away the pass, he'd score. Like, it's just like Cooper Flagg has that type of game where it's like he can affect the game more than just scoring. So it's a tall order, but obviously Houston is a really good team. They got a really good coach who's very smart.
Yep.
So it will be a really, really good game, and Houston can pull that off for sure.
And if Houston's able to pull it off, like you said, they'll play either Florida or Auburn Monday night. They say that tips around 8:50. I wonder why they have to go 8:50. Round up or round down? Go 8:30 or 9 o'clock? I don't know why it's got to be such a late tip time Monday night.
I'm more interested in the women's championship.
You don't know the men's championship, though.
I know, but
what would the combination have to be where your interest peaks more to the men than the women?
Well, Duke has to go because it's Cooper Flagg.
Sure.
I guess Auburn. Florida's the hottest team, but I probably Auburn because Johnny Broom is that dude. That's a man. That's a grown man down there. So I guess that would be like you get the star power that you're kind of looking for. So I guess that probably, but like I don't know. It's South Carolina and it's UConn. So like you got the best.
You had Lauren Betts score like 24 points for the Bruins yesterday. They got beat by like 30.
30, yeah.
It did not matter.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody else on UCLA had more than like 8 points.
Because it would be like Paige. Obviously, if you seen Paige's career, like Paige had the injury. Then last year, we got robbed out of a final because of the moving screen call.
Yeah.
And that was just like, you can't call that in that moment. So it was like, ugh. So that kind of took that away. And then for her to be literally probably one of the best basketball players in women's sports, college sports, I should say, like to see her go to the championship and have an opportunity to go up against one of the best teams who's been a like dynasty. Like, can she take down that dynasty? Because even Caitlin Clark couldn't take down that dynasty. So it has more of a narrative like, all right, we've seen this story, but can Paige and her team actually stop this South Carolina dynasty that we've been seeing for the past
I think I'm going to agree with you. The better story lies tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
With Dawn Staley, Gino Auriemma, Paige Beckers, UConn, South Carolina. Yeah, 3 o'clock. It'll be on ABC. The men's championship game will be on our friends over at 10 TV. You'll have the Final Four games tonight, and then again the national championship Monday night at 8:50. All of it on CBS. Did you fill out a bracket this year?
Yeah, win the garbage.
Quickly or?
No, Tennessee. Once Tennessee lost this past, that was it. Because I had took Tennessee to win it all. So like once they lost to Houston, I think it was Houston. It was.
Yeah. He's not eligible to win the prize, but Panama Ted is, and our 10 TV and 97.1 The Fan bracket challenge is 12th.
Why is he not eligible?
Because he's an employee.
He can't win the $1,000.
He can enter a contest, but he cannot win the $1,000.
You mean to tell me?
Maybe they'll give him a gift card.
You mean to tell me Tim Hall and
Jacob Reimer
are not?
Colin Behringer.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Where are they at? Well, just out of curiosity.
I'd have to look at the fans.
Who's the highest ranked out of these mad about hoops guys?
Well, I don't think it's. I want to say it's Reimer. But it might have changed. And the thing with Ted is he's got Houston as his national champion, so he has still time to make. He can get more. He can work his way up.
Does that show who the game is, or just who they champion?
I can click on it, but that's a lot of clicking you're asking me to do in a very short time. Because I'm trying to find where Reimer is. Of the 2,300 brackets that were submitted, Reimer is 578th.
What?
578th.
Out of how many?
About 2,300.
Okay.
Timmy Hall is 1,157th. I am 1,761st.
Yeah.
Dom, Skip, Ron Stokes, Jen Winters all have Florida, so they can work their way up. Dom's in 53rd place. Skip Mossick's in 96th place. Anthony Rothman's at 318th. He's got Duke, so there's still a chance. Everybody else is dead.
Yeah. Who did you pick?
I had, I believe, St. John's as my national champion. What I did was...
Are you insane?
Yeah. What I did was I picked the Final Four first.
You mad about hoops.
I did Auburn, St. John's, Alabama, and McNeese.
That's what you...
That was my Final Four. And then I just went from there.
What is wrong with you?
I wanted a bad boy bracket.
Yeah, no.
I picked guys that had run afoul of the NCAA over the last 5 years.
The saddest part is that if I would have just went with my first mind, I would be rolling right now.
What was your first mind?
I had all four number ones in the Final Four. Then I said, no, this don't happen. This never happens.
It's only happened twice.
That's my point.
So to your point.
I then scratched. I went back to the beginning and switched it up. I should have stuck with my guns.
But it has happened in the year of our Lord 2025. Hey, get that Nepo baby away from the hot mic. That's next. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
When your sump pump is no longer sumping and pumping, please don't become a sump pump grump.
A sump pump grump thinks whacking the pump will make it start working again.
But it never does.
Get Eco.
ECO.
A sump pump grump will let a faulty sump pump completely ruin a perfectly good day.
Fortunately, I've invented a solution.
No more sump pump grump?
No more sump pump grump.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Tell me about it, Jerry.
The solution is that you get Eco to do a sump pump inspection.
What would that include?
We check your pump, your battery backup, and all the downspouts and drains along the way to make sure everything is running clear.
How much?
That's up to you, Aaron.
Jerry, Eco would be happy to do that for just $89.
That's a great price.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
Go to geteco.com.
Hey, Ohio State fans. While others cut corners, like that team up north, Valvoline Instant Oil Change is Buckeye-level quality. We train hard and treat every day like game day. We're always quick, but never rushed. And you can stay in your car while our experts do the work. Valvoline Instant Oil Change is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit valvoline.com/Buckeyes to find your nearest location and access exclusive fan savings.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-324-VEIN. That's 614-324-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
With prices the way they are, this is the year to start growing your own fruits, herbs, and vegetables. Oakland Nursery has #1 size blueberry plants starting at just $9.99. Cool season vegetable plants start at just $2.99 a pack. Asparagus roots, rhubarb crowns, gooseberries, strawberries, and more. And all your favorite herbs, too. Premium quality fruit trees start at just $29.99. Grow your own fruits, vegetables, and herbs this year. For 85 years,
Gardeners start at Oakland Nursery.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
We've lowered prices. You can save 15% or more on hundreds of items like Thomas Mini Bagels, Campbell's SpaghettiOs, and more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Rockman and Ice.
When you're paying a guy this amount of money, you either feel like you're right there and he's going to put you over the top, or you've got the runway to get it done.
Rockman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
Your home is more than just four walls and a roof. It's where life happens, where memories are made, where family gathers, and where you should feel safe. At Newman Roofing, we know that when it's time for a new roof, you want to feel confident that you've hired the right company. One that will install a quality roof and complete the work as promised. But with so many roofing companies out there, how do you know which one to trust? For over 30 years, Newman Roofing has helped more than 7,500 families protect their homes with quality roofing, gutters, and siding. We believe you deserve a company that provides a white glove customer experience, one that pays attention to every detail and treats your home like it's our own. At Newman Roofing, we're not just another roofing company. We're a family-built business that stands behind our work. So when it's time to replace your roof, don't settle for uncertainty. Choose the local family with a reputation for excellence. Choose the company you can trust. Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Yeah, boss asked us to get the Ohio Lottery kiosks ready for the new $20 scratch-off, $2 million extreme cash. With $38 million in total prizes, we had to go big. We had cup holders, monster truck tires, even installed air horns in case somebody reveals the extreme symbol and wins every prize on the scratch-off. Boss thinks the light show's a bit much, but gotta celebrate $2 million top prize winners somehow. So yeah, play $2 million extreme cash from the Ohio Lottery. And if you could tell my boss I did a good job, that'd be cool too. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at masheterford.net. Thanks.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Showers continue Saturday afternoon and evening with temperatures in the mid-60s, falling into the 50s after sunset, and then the 40s overnight as rain continues through the first half of Sunday, which will be a chilly day with highs in the mid-40s. By the evening, rain tapers off, temperatures dip into the 30s, and we can see a few wet snowflakes. I'm meteorologist Mike Joyce on 97.1 The Fan.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. Live, local, and still slightly drunk.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Because of course they do, Sports Betting AG has odds on if the Bengals relocate after the 2025 season, where could they go? St. Louis is the favorite, plus 300.
Columbus.
Austin, San Antonio. Columbus I don't see on this list.
Would you embrace them if they decided to become the Columbus Bearcats?
There's no room for another pro team in Columbus. Ohio State just casts too large of a shadow.
You think?
Looms too large over anybody.
It's Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Nope.
You wouldn't want that in Columbus?
Where are you going to put it?
The old Crew Stadium.
Sure. Now,
you like that?
I should preface it. Fine. No, I don't want that because I don't want them to leave Cincinnati. I'll preface this whole thing by saying they're not going to leave Cincinnati.
Probably
This is just how these things work.
Their lease is up next year, though, right?
Yep, and they've got until June 30th to pick up a 2-year option on that lease. So likely there will be this kind of hardball negotiating between the team, the county, which owns the stadium right now. The Bengals are leasing it. Again, that lease expires June 30th of 2026. They have to submit written notification to Hamilton County at least 12 months prior. So June 30th of this year, they've got to let them know, hey, yeah, we're going to pick up that 2-year option. And then in a year, they could pick up another 2-year option and kind of just keep kicking this can down the road. Now, again, Bengals aren't going anywhere, but because you're kind of in that window of when you're going to make a decision, anytime a Bengals executive takes a microphone, they likely get asked about it. Now, NFL had its owners' meetings earlier this week in Florida, and so we'll have plenty from what actually happened from a football standpoint later on in the show. But as it goes for the Cincinnati Bengals, Katie Blackburn, who is the daughter of Mike Brown, who is the son of Paul Brown, who invented the Cincinnati Bengals. Okay. Now, we know nepotism is rampant in the NFL, really in sport. Like, we're watching Marty Schottenheimer on the NFL Network coach the San Diego Chargers in a game with Drew Brees as his quarterback. Now, the Schottenheimer name has been everywhere, right? Yeah. Brian is the current head coach of the Tennessee Titans.
No, I thought he was with the Cowboys.
Oh, sure. No, you're right. It's the Cowboys.
Callahan.
I'm thinking of Callahan. Yeah. His dad was the offensive line coach. The nepotism thing is the major point here.
Yes.
Where I don't know if Katie Blackburn's working in football, if not for this. I don't know if Stephen Jones has any business running a football organization, but his daddy owns it. So that's the positions these people are. Similarly with the Las Vegas Raiders. Like, what's your qualification? Well, daddy owned the team. So for Mrs. Blackburn, she was asked about negotiations with Hamilton County and discussions about the stadium. We could, I guess, go wherever we wanted to after this year if we didn't pick the option up. We'll see. Like I said, all these things will be done in due course. We are having discussions, and so we're hopeful the county is thinking about it a lot too and wants to get it addressed in a way that would be beneficial for both of us. End quote. Of course, the follow-up question, is there a possibility the team could be open to moving to another county in Ohio or across the river to Kentucky? Quote, we love where we are. I'm a big proponent of being downtown. I think it's a great thing for the city. I think the location of the stadium right now is good. I think our stadium obviously needs to continue to be maintained appropriately. And if you want to keep it at a certain level, that's important just so that we're competitive with others. Now, I read the second quote to kind of ease the first part, or I guess soften the first part, because we could, I guess, go wherever we wanted to after this year. It's probably not what you want to be saying. Because
in theory, they're not wrong.
They are not wrong, but it goes back to comments made by Phil Castellini. Where are you going to go?
Oh, they can go somewhere.
You think?
Yeah.
It'd be difficult.
It would be. Because a lot of work.
Ohio has something called the Modell Law. It'd be very difficult.
It's just the Browns.
It's any team.
Oh.
So it would be difficult for
the go to Columbus.
They're not going to. But the bigger point I want to make is just understand that everything you say is going to get thrown out there. And if you say things like that, you're going to get your fans going, what the hell?
Like I said, in theory, it's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
This is all.
All you needed to say was the second part.
These are negotiation tactics. That's all it is.
Especially as they look to the north and see that the state of Ohio wants to give $600 million to the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. They're like, well, we've been asking for a new stadium as well. So there you go.
She also kind of stepped in it when asked about a contract extension for Trey Hendrickson. Quote, I think he should be happy at certain rates that maybe he doesn't think he'd be happy at. I think some of it is on him to be happy at some point. And if he's not, that's what holds it up sometimes. So, it takes him to say yes to something. And also we have all the respect of the world for him. So she kind of, at the end of that comment, tries to save herself from the earlier portion where just be happy. Just be happy with it. Just be happy with what we're offering you. Well, Trey Hendrickson was a guest on Pat McAfee's show earlier this week and had this to say about those comments.
First off, yesterday was April Fool's, so I was traded to all 31 teams and had 100 different contracts. So the one thing I was hoping that was an April Fool's joke was that article, but called my agent, found out it was not. And that was a little disappointing because communication has been poor over the last couple of months. That's something that I hold in high regard. They have not communicated with my agent directly. It's been something that's been a little bit frustrating, but again, this is the business of it. I'm incredibly blessed to be in the NFL. And I'm excited to be a Bengal, right? To have a year that I have remaining on my contract. We can get into that real quick. Last year and the year before, I've been talking about long-term contract, guaranteed money, things like that. And it was discussed with me in a meeting, which I'm very fortunate to have had with my agent, that we would get something done this year. So that being said, last year, go out and play to the level you have, we'll get it done. That was communicated with me. So that basically, this year is going to get worked on. They also reiterated that at the Combine. So that just kind of clears the air on that. And moving forward, the happiness of my camp, they are more than welcome to call me. I've had my same cell phone number since high school. Open line of communication is always open with me and my agent. So
it's just like a very rich person to say, no, you just need to be happy with what we're offering. Just be happy with what we're giving.
You know what's crazy is that I see it from both sides.
Of course you do.
Look, that's just who I am.
Right.
I'm
You've been on both sides, though, right? You've been the player, and now you've been the football analyst.
1 foot in, 1 foot out.
And understand that you're right. Much with the stadium, there's negotiating. There's a back and forth.
Like, I understand why they don't feel comfortable giving him a long extension because of the age thing.
Sure.
You look at a lot of premier pass rushers after they turn 30, 31, their production tends to go down. And you want a 2-year extension, we're going to be, well, you're not, history says that you're not going to be able to duplicate the season that you just had. Like, that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they feel uncomfortable committing that type of money. But for him, it's like, you literally told me that we were going to have this conversation if I gave you results, and I gave you the results. So it's really dishonest. But that is the hard part about business, man. Like, so I get why he's frustrated, and I understand where he's coming from. Like, how you basically lied to me. You basically,
he's calling them liars,
pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's hard to come back from. Like,
and so for Bengals brass, it's reaching a Brownsian level of getting in their own way. All of the goodwill that they've built up with the extensions that have been done, with the discussion that there's going to be a Trey extension done, doesn't get completely undone, but it gets a little murky or mucked up when you have someone in your ownership group saying nonsense like that.
He should be happy.
He should be like, come on.
I mean,
you just massage the messaging a little bit better so that fans don't look back and go, you idiot.
The reason why that don't work for him, like for her saying that comment for him, is because it's not like he's not a guy that guys wouldn't pick up right away. Like, you released me or trade, but I have value. So if this was somebody that was like the 53rd person on your roster, all right, yeah.
That you can say be happy.
Be happy. We carry you along. But he's the guy that will be highly sought after if he's not a Bengal. So therefore, pay the man. Pay him.
Especially when you told him, if you produce,
you got to be a person of your word on that one. Like, if you said that, like, you can't just lie. Like, that's pretty messed up.
Yeah. So I always wonder, and it never ceases. It probably should. I should stop being surprised when NFL brass or members of the NFL in ownership positions put their foot in their mouth.
It happens all the time.
It does, and it really shouldn't. You should just hire people to be smarter than that. But again, it's tough to tell a billionaire that you have found somebody that's smarter than them. Yeah. Speaking of billionaires, the Haslams spoke on Deshaun Watson. We'll tell you what they said and discuss what it might mean for Cleveland seasons in the future. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Here's 3 reasons to buy your Blue Jackets ticket plans for the 25-26 season. 1, pick your seat and pick your games. 2, plans start at just 11 games. 3, priority access to Stanley Cup playoff tickets. Act now. Visit BlueJackets.com/tickets.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktails, shots, and more.
Is your AC ready for summer? Don't wait for the heat to hit. Weak airflow? Warm air? Strange noises? These are warning signs your AC needs attention. Our skilled technicians offer AC repair services or replacements to keep your family cool all summer long. Don't sweat it. 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning has your back. Here to keep your home cool all summer. Visit onehour.com to schedule today. Financing options available.
At Rocket, we believe everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. So if you're feeling locked out of home ownership, we're here to give you back the keys. We're opening doors, breaking down walls, and doing everything we can to turn renters into owners. And we're not going to stop until we help everyone home. To find out more, visit rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
We're your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah? The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Garnish your Bloody Mary with sports talk. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
So at the NFL's owners' meetings earlier this week, the Haslams held court with reporters, Jimmy and Dee Haslam. And I think I've talked to you about this, Tyvis, a lot in the couple of years that we've done this show together, where NFL owners don't like to admit they were wrong.
Who likes to admit that they're wrong?
They'll be okay admitting that, well, we weren't right, but we weren't wrong.
Yes.
This was that.
We weren't right. But
Speaking about Deshaun Watson, Jimmy Haslam said, well, I mean, let's address the elephant in the room. We took a big swing and a miss with Deshaun. We thought we had the quarterback. We didn't, and we gave up a lot of draft picks to get him. So we've got to dig ourselves out of that hole. Listen, I've said this numerous times. Deshaun Watson was an entire organization decision, and it ends with D&I. So hold us accountable, which sounds great.
Mm-hmm. It's good to take some.
Then D chimes in. I mean, the player got hurt, and so that was an unusual situation. I think there was a lot of unusual situations, but really bad injuries, when a player has these kind of bad injuries, it's really unfortunate for him and unfortunate for our organization, end quote.
Technically not wrong.
No, we weren't wrong. You weren't right. No, but we weren't wrong is the more important thing. Understand that we were not wrong.
See, I didn't take it like that. That's not how I.
As a Browns fan, I did.
I didn't interpret it that way.
Because you don't need to say the second part. Just let Jimmy say it starts with D and I. Full stop.
The thing is this. Jimmy went out there and he just ripped the Band-Aid off. He said what it was.
Okay, great.
And D was the person that thought, like, okay, that's a little harsh. Like, let's soften the blow all. Because we don't want to, like, just trash this man. So let's just say injuries played a part, which is true. Injuries did play a part of it.
A part of it. But there was, I would say, more to that.
You tear your Achilles and you come off of a shoulder injury. Like, that's
pretty bad.
Yeah.
But he also took a year off of football after fleecing an organization for a contract.
He did.
He quit on the Houston Texans. And then
Wasn't that about some owner stuff?
I don't care. He signed a contract saying, I'm going to play for you, and then said, now I'm not going to play for you.
Yeah, he did do that.
And then when he wanted out, a ton of allegations surfaced about 20 plus women. And so you're out of football. You're out of
22 at the beginning.
You're out of football for a year. He at least settled with 22 of those allegations. Usually a couple more could be out there.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
You took all of that and you gave him the richest deal in football. Thinking, no, we can fix him.
No, well, Cleveland's looked at as rehab. I say this all the time. They take a lot of disgruntled players and try to bring them into here and let them flourish their career, work their issues out, and hopefully they become better when they leave.
Now, this feels like he's become a comedy influencer on Instagram, because Deshaun Watson did post a series of images and videos of him rehabbing at the Browns facility, wearing Cleveland Browns gear with the caption, "Maybe if I weren't built for this, I'd let it faze me," who a lot of people took to be his response to Jimmy's comment.
See, I didn't look at it that way.
No.
I looked at it like the injury. I thought he was talking about the injury.
I think so.
But like I say, at this point, it's a lot of gray area. He could have been that, but the good thing about what he did is you can interpret it any way you want to interpret it. He could always come out and say, I'm talking about the injury, but he could really have meant he was talking about that. It was a good time if he felt some type of way, because it's gray area.
They gave you $230 million, man.
I mean, that's what, at the end of the day, but that's the thing, because people, this gets me. This one gets me. As a former athlete, this bothers me, because people always say, And I get it. They say.
You get it, but.
Yeah, I get what.
Give me the but.
The but, I ain't even said it. This is the part that I don't understand. Is that people are like, this guy is getting paid all of this money. Why should he care what I say? Like, why should he care? Who cares? And I hear you. I hear you, and I feel you. But I also understand everybody wants to be loved in this world. Everybody does it. Nobody wants to be trashed and all of those things. So no matter if you make $0 or if you make $2 billion, if somebody says something to you negatively, it's going to hurt your feelings because you want to be loved and admired and adored by everybody. So it's just what it is. I don't know. I know people always say that comment like, he's making $230 million. Who cares? Why would he care what I say? Because he wants to be loved. That's why.
I would tell him if he wants to be loved, then he should have watched his behavior. And he should have made better choices.
I mean, everybody.
And he should have been a better teammate, a better person.
Yeah, that's fair.
But he wasn't.
That's fair.
So that's why the criticism, when you factor in how much he's being paid to be a good player, to be a good teammate, to be a good person. Less the good person thing, because it's the NFL. And we'd be silly to sit here and think they're all saints.
They are.
But he's being paid to be a good player.
Whoa. There's some great players. There's some great guys.
Some wonderful players.
Some great guys in the NFL.
I have no doubt there are some.
Some great guys.
There are probably a lot of great guys in the NFL.
I can think of one off the top of the head.
There are also
Justin Simmons is a great guy.
How about Sherman Spoon?
Sherm is a great guy. He's had some altercations, but in the core, he's a great guy. He gets caught up in moments. And
Didn't his house just get robbed?
Yes, his house got robbed. His wife, his kids, and his cousins was there. They got robbed.
How are they doing?
They are they're a little shaken up, obviously, as you could imagine, but they are determined to hunt these people down.
How is he doing?
He's very determined to try to hunt.
Nobody was hurt.
Nobody was hurt
physically.
He wasn't. I don't think he was there. He was in Cabo because he was celebrating his birthday. A little guy's trip to Cabo. But his wife and kids and cousin was all held at gunpoint, robbed. If you want to see the video,
that's horrifying.
It's on his Twitter.
They have a video
of it. Got pictures of the people in masks and asking if you know anybody or know anything about it to help out with the situation. But they are very determined to try to find these people.
So the Browns brass went from Florida to Colorado for Colorado's Pro Showcase, featuring Shedeur Sanders, and then Travis Hunter, I think at the last second, said, yeah, I'll run some routes. Now, I don't think anything they do, Shedeur or Travis, would change anybody's mind about them after the season. I don't know if a pro day would that much. Now, it might reinforce your decision, but those are still two of the top 5 best prospects in this upcoming draft. Even before you do the pro day.
Maybe Travis.
Okay. What about Shedeur?
All the people that I see he's like, 30 in this draft?
Overall prospects?
Yeah.
But he's still going to go top 5.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. It's a coin flip. I think the Giants will take him. I think the Browns are taking Travis Hunter.
But they're doing their due diligence.
Yes.
So they were there.
If he slides and he's there at 33, the Browns will probably sprint that pick.
He's not going to be there at 33.
It's a possibility.
Okay. But I think the Giants were there as well. So
actually, you would want to trade back up in the first round and take him.
I think if that happens, yes.
Because you
find him there at 20.
You get that 5th year option.
In the 20s.
So you probably want to, if you're going to take a quarterback, you probably want to try to take him in the first round.
Yes. But Shedeur's QB2 then. Is that something we can agree on? He'll be the second quarterback taken?
If things go the way that everybody thinks that they should, yes.
Okay. And so Travis Hunter as well, one of the top. It would be, again, as a Browns fan, that is my one. Take him at 2. Take Travis Hunter at 2.
I agree.
Now, I even think even if Cam Ward's there, you're still taking Travis Hunter.
No,
you're taking Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Franchise quarterback trade trumps all of that.
You think that much more highly of Cam Ward than you do Shedeur?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see Cam Ward and I see a lot of things that Kevin Stefanski hates. And I don't know this year if they can work. I don't know if I trust Kevin to work that out of him. Kevin has not turned into the quarterback whisperer that I thought or that I was sold on.
Oh, you sound like me on the Cleveland show on Thursday.
The Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, Thursdays on YouTube?
Yeah.
What time?
11 to 1.
Check it out.
Anyways, no, what I was saying is I brought up the point of there's probably three prospects that you could take at 2.
Mm-hmm.
Cam's probably off the board, so let's go Shador, Travis, and Abdul. Out of those 3 prospects, which one do you trust the Browns organization to develop the best?
Travis Hunter.
Have you seen our wide receivers that we tried to develop since the beginning of time?
Yeah, but I think if they get jettisoned at the end of the football season, the Browns brass, then you bring in another front office, another head coach, and Travis Hunter doesn't need a lot of coaching, in my opinion, to already be really good.
Yes, he does, because this is a guy who's played both sides of the ball. He got some things he's got to work on.
They all have things that they have to work on.
Do you trust the Browns organization to clean that up and develop him correctly?
More so than I do the quarterbacks.
Okay.
Because the Travis Hunter, the last name Hunter doesn't go on the back of the jersey. Ward might. Sanders might. And that jersey's getting like dress length. What I'm talking about is the failed quarterbacks of Cleveland's past, which since 1999 includes all of them. They pushed the tush push. That's next at Sports Saturday on The Fan.
This promo is brought to you by Common Man and Timmy Hall's Ping Pong Game. The Fan.
Home values in Columbus are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for 2 things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Guys, it's College Hoops superfan Timmy Hall. The finals are here, and the only thing for sure is this. It's the last time to bet on college basketball this season. It's been an amazing ride to get here, so get in on all the action, expected and unexpected, with DraftKings Sportsbook. Live betting, exclusive content, promos, and parlays. DraftKings is the ultimate college basketball destination for March. Ready to make the first bet? Check out the matchups, pick a team to win. It's that simple. First time, here's something special. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. So bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TheFan971. That's code TheFan971 for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Ohio only. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
We're catching up with that famous deep-sea explorer, Jacques Black Jacques. Jacques, where are you today? You're in Columbus. What could you possibly be exploring in Columbus?
The April showers bring flooding to Batmans.
Oh, I see. Spring rains mean basements are flooding.
This is not necessary. Apex Pros.
Not necessary. Call Apex Pros.
A simple zoom pump chick.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble understanding this. Zoom pump check. Sump pump check. Are you saying sump pump check?
Oui.
Yes, of course. Sump pump check from the pros who knows at Apex Pros.
They come to your house.
They come to your house.
They test your zoom pump.
They test your, what is it again?
Zoom pump.
Sump pump, right.
All with a 5-star guarantee.
All with a 5-star guarantee. Now, see, I understood that perfectly.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
You can catch all the Final Four action on 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fans HD2.
Live coverage from San Antonio starts Saturday at 4.
Your home of the Final Four. 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fan.
Have you considered how much has occurred in the last 85 years? World War II, the psychedelic 60s, Vietnam, disco, the internet, the PC, the smartphone, and AI. To say the last 85 years have been monumental is quite an understatement. You know what's been constant every step of the way? Oakland Nursery. Since 1940, Oakland Nursery has provided the finest quality plant material at fair prices, backed up with expert service. Happy 85th. If you haven't been to Oakland Nursery, you simply haven't been to a nursery.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-324-VEIN. That's 614-324-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at masheterford.net. Thanks.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. We firmly believe it's appropriate to tailgate before a youth soccer game. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
So they've opened the doors at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center for Student Appreciation Day. They'll get things going here in about 20, 25 minutes. You'll hear from Ryan Day after Student Appreciation Day, but you also hear from him on Monday. Same with Brian Hartline, same with Matt Patricia. They'll speak as they get ready to wrap up spring next Saturday at Ohio Stadium for what will be the spring game. We'll have network coverage of Ohio State's spring game next Saturday starting at 11:45. Tailgate show live from outside the arena on Ohio State's campus next Saturday at 10 o'clock. And the first edition of this year's Tee to Green with Skip Mossick next Saturday at 9 a.m. NFL owners met this week in Florida for a couple of rule changes. One that took most of the headlines was the tush push, and they didn't even rule on it. They just tabled it, which to me feels like the laziest thing to do.
They've been tabling that conversation
for
like
years.
2 years now.
Now, they've only got 16 NFL teams to back the tush push ban. They've got to get a minimum of 24.
Oh.
What some NFL reporters think is that they're tabling this vote to where they get to Minnesota, I think next month. Next month is May, because it is now April, where they can get just owners in the room, and they can have 24 owners vote on this, because you don't have the coaches and you don't have other guys around you saying, well, let's have more discussion on this. It's been a very weird conversation surrounding what I think is a regular football play.
You think it's a regular football play?
I do.
It's an unstoppable play.
Well, it's unstoppable for one team that's got...
I think that's the problem with it. Is
the right quarterback.
Is that you have such a high success with it.
One team has high success with it.
Oh, the Eagles?
Yeah.
That's not true.
Okay, who else?
Anybody that really does it is kind of a gimme.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Well, then what's the problem here?
There's no way to stop it.
I think there's always going to be a way to stop it.
Well, they need to figure it out.
Just prevent them from getting into... One would be preventing them from getting into that situation, 4th and short.
I don't know. I kind of feel like if it's the Super Bowl and the game's on the line, and let's say it's the last play of the game, you're on the 1 yard line, and they line up in the tush push, it's kind of you know what it is.
You don't know.
Oh, yes, you do.
I don't know about that. It's not 100% success rate, or else all teams would be doing it.
90.
I'm going to see what they scored. 27 touchdowns. The Eagles have recorded 92 total first downs in the past 3 years.
You don't think it's odd that I just seen this?
I just don't know what the argument is to ban it. is the argument to ban it. The argument to ban
they're trying to make it fair. Like,
has not been good enough to me to render a ban.
No, it shouldn't be banned, but I think they're trying to be like from as a defensive player, you would admit that a lot of the thing is for offense, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The NFL is heavily geared towards offensive football. That's what puts butts in seats.
What have they done for the defense? Ever?
If anything, nothing. Oh, nothing ever. If anything, they've handicapped.
I think the defense is like this. You can at least give us this one thing. Finally, just give us one thing.
16 NFL teams.
I think
that.
I just feel like that's where they at. I think that's what it's about. Like, y'all have literally taken everything away, y'all, from tackling, from touching the receivers, everything.
Yeah.
From everything. You can't do anything on defense anymore. And they got something that is very dominant. And y'all can't help us with this one thing. I think that's the argument.
I've heard the argument about. I don't love that argument. I've heard the argument about injuries, but there's not enough data. There's just not enough information out there, and so you're going to need to do a little bit better to argue for why it should be banned. Mm-hmm. And that's something that's going to be done only for the rest of time, because this will get tabled again, and they'll just keep bringing it up every offseason. It might just be the Packers every year. That's just the one thing they come to the table with.
Yeah, it don't. I don't really care.
Yeah, it's like the DH for me. If you're going to ban it or have it, then it's uniform.
But I understand why they feel the way they feel.
I do too. But you feel one way about everybody feels a way, but you need to have
whoever figures out how to stop it first is going to be very successful. Stop it.
Also decided this week, the chain gang going the way of the dodo, or at least going to the secondary way.
I was about to say, they're not gone.
Figuring out if this team has advanced 10 yards. The league's going to use Sony's Hawkeye virtual measurement system, which will consist of 6 8K cameras for optical tracking of the ball's position. Technology is an efficient alternative to the process of walking change onto the field and manually measuring whether 10 yards have been met after the official has stopped the ball. Those what the league said in a news release. Yeah, we have the technology to figure out, did they advance the ball past the line to gain? We're still using a chain.
So they're not doing like an
older gentleman to kind of waddle their way across the field.
Somebody said like put a chip in the ball.
You could do that, but they're using 8K cameras.
8K cameras.
Yeah.
So we're going to just look at a camera. And
several cameras.
Okay.
I think we'll give you a better sense of it.
I have to see it.
You've got
preseason, we'll see.
Preseason's going to be the tell. And that's why they think that the chain gang is going to remain on the sidelines in a secondary capacity in the event that the cameras, the 6 of them, aren't going to give them the proper line.
The kickoffs.
They did. They're moving it to the 35, I think.
But it's still the same lineup and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the landing zone and all of that. Okay. It's the dynamic kickoff rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know. I know a lot of people weren't thrilled about it last year. Did we have any returns last year for a touchdown?
That's a very good question. I don't know.
Let me Google it.
I do know that Amazon is going to get a little bit more power in terms of flexing games for Thursday Night Football. NFL owners voted to trim the notice needed to flex a TNF game from 28 to 21 days. The first instance of a game flexed within that 28-day window was the Browns and the Bengals. They were going to play on December 19th, but that was moved so they could bring an AFC West game into the midweek primetime fold. The league's permitted to flex up to 2 games into the Thursday Night Football from other slots, beginning in Week 13 and then going obviously into Week 17. Christmas is going to fall on a Thursday this year, so you could see like the very first Christmas Day TNF flex. That's what this could bring up. There are 3 games Christmas Day, which, sorry, NFL or NBA, you've been kicked into the Spartan pit of oblivion.
There were 7 total returns.
7 total touchdown returns?
Yes, last year.
With the new dynamic kick rule?
Yeah. Compared to only 4 the season before.
I just think at some point you just don't. I get it.
Don't you ever say that again.
Get rid of the kickoff.
Don't say that.
I don't care.
Don't say that.
I just don't. As a fan.
As a guy who made a living in the league for special teams.
No, I understand. This goes back to the tush-push thing. I understand arguments for and against it. I don't care.
Nope.
Okay.
The opening kickoff is the most exciting thing of a game.
Is it?
It is. It gets the blood going.
For players.
Yeah.
But for fans on the couch.
Got to sit over there and smell that salt. Ooh, you wake you up. Ooh.
This I have no doubt.
Hit the salt before you go out there because it can be violent on that play.
Were international marketing rights a thing when you were a player?
No.
Because you saw that the league gave its Greece market to the Los Angeles Chargers and the Spanos family. The Browns have Nigeria.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think David Njoku.
Shout out to, yeah.
So I think that's why.
Or JOK. Where's JOK's?
It's a good question. Also, go to the Google machine for that because I don't want to get that wrong. This does lean to me with the Chargers that the next international game for them could be in Greece because the NFL is trying to expand around the world. I think they've got 6 international games coming up this next season. 8 games remain for the Blue Jackets. These next 2, they're playoff eliminators. That's next. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
If you've recently seen a photo of an older Baker Mayfield fresh off a bender, it's just Bo Bishop. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
The Roofing Guys are your locally owned, trusted family business right here in Central Ohio. They've been hammering quality and service through the roof for over 25 years, offering professional services in roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Contact them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, 80% lean Kroger brand ground beef is on sale. 3-pound packages are $3.99 a pound with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman here for Germain Honda of Dublin. So what's the difference? There are other Honda dealers around. Well, Rich Newsom and his team want to earn your trust. They don't expect it, and they earn it by giving you a great price, and then they back it up after the sale. With same-day service, no appointment necessary, a great variety of brand-new Hondas, and hundreds of pre-owned certified Hondas to choose from, all at the same location. Identify yours at GermainHondaofDublin.com. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Hey, Sports Cards fans, I'm Jeff with my buddy Adam, and we run Huggy Kissy Bear breaks on the Whatnot app. What's a card break? Simple. We open boxes of cards live, you pick your team, and we send you all the hits. With over 2,300 5-star reviews, we're all about you. New to card breaks? No sweat. We've got you covered with a sweet welcome package from us. Download the Whatnot app and follow us on Instagram and TikTok to view all of our past Sugar Bear hits. Huggy Kissy Bear breaks, where collectors win big.
Is your AC ready for summer? Don't wait for the heat to hit. Weak airflow? Warm air? Strange noises? These are warning signs your AC needs attention. Our skilled technicians offer AC repair services or replacements to keep your family cool all summer long. Don't sweat it. 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning has your back. Here to keep your home cool all summer. Visit onehour.com to schedule today. Financing options available.
At Rocket, we believe everyone deserves their shot at the American dream. So if you're feeling locked out of home ownership, we're here to give you back the keys. We're opening doors, breaking down walls, and doing everything we can to turn renters into owners. And we're not going to stop until we help everyone home. To find out more, visit rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring into savings at Ohio Mulch. Get 5 bags of red, black, or brown mulch for just $10.95 now through April 5th. Save $50 on home delivery too. Visit ohiomulch.com today.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Happy Saturday to you. I'm Cole Bartimus. The Blue Jackets are hockeying tonight, and they will do so north of the border. Jackets at Maple Leafs at 7 o'clock. We'll have that game right here on 97.1, and our pregame coverage will begin at 6:30. The CBJ need these points. They are 2 points behind the Rangers, who are 2 points behind the Canadians, who are in that last wild card spot. So for those of you good at math, the Jackets are 4 points out, but they do have a game in hand on all of the teams that surround them for whatever that's worth. Elsewhere in the world of sports, we have the Final Four from San Antonio tonight. Both games will be on Channel 10 on your TV guide. We got a little SEC flavor in the opener. Florida and Auburn at 6:09. Florida's a 2.5-point favorite in that. Then Duke and Houston will cap off the evening at roughly 8:49. Duke is a 5.5-point favorite. And the women had their Final Four yesterday, and they were two demolitions. South Carolina defeated conference opponent Texas, and UConn cruised past UCLA. So those two will compete for the national championship tomorrow afternoon.
Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean we shut up. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
It's a busy weekend here on The Fan. You've got the Jackets in a must-get points situation.
Yeah.
Heading to Canada.
What is this, 6 games, 5 games?
8 games remain.
Dang, okay.
You right now,
Still got time.
You're 4 points back
Still got time.
of the Montreal Canadiens. Cole said in the update for that second wild card spot. But Toronto tonight at 7, and then Ottawa tomorrow at 5.
This is going to come down to like the last game of the year where they have to win and somebody have to lose, isn't it?
Yeah, you were kind of, I guess, hoping that last game against the Islanders is for that 8 spot. You are, I think, rooting interest against the Rangers because they right now have 79 points, but it doesn't feel like the Blue Jackets and the Islanders, when you get to that April 17th game, are going to be in the position to matter.
Let me ask you a question about Alex Ovechkin,
who is tied all-time with the great Wayne Gretzky for goals scored in a career at 894. He had 2 last night as the Capitals beat the Blackhawks 5-3.
Who's the next game they play?
So actually, Washington's on the Long Island tomorrow taking on the New York Islanders.
Okay, let's say that you are the goalie for the Islanders.
Uh-huh.
Would you let him score?
No.
You wouldn't let him
I
score?
do not want to be on that trading card.
But you'll be remembered forever.
Nah, you don't want to be remembered like that.
But you'll be remembered.
I don't want to be remembered like that. No, at this point, so if you're the Isles goalie, if you're the Hurricanes goalie, the Capitals are going to be in Columbus next Saturday. That game's at 12:30.
Do you think people will remember you more for the guy that didn't let him get the goal or the guy that did let him get
I don't think people are going to remember you that much for being the goalie. I don't think that much.
They are.
Fine.
They're going to be like, he's the guy. He scored the goal on X.
No, they're going to remember he scored the goal.
Or he has, X.
And the thing about Ovi in this season is because the Capitals still have games to go, 895 will be championed, but he'll get 896, then 897, then 898, then 899, then 900. Because Capitals are like the top team in the league points-wise. Yeah. So there's going to have a long stretch of games left to play for Ovechkin to keep making moves at this. But no, I don't think the goalie in the general sports psyche is going to be remembered for giving up 895.
He will, but as a goalie, as a competitor,
you will never forget it.
I would not give up the goal.
No, I'd do everything. I know.
That's like if a receiver needed one catch.
Yep.
You ain't getting it today. The whole game plan so you don't get the ball. I'm sorry, you ain't breaking the record today. That would be my mindset. So I will pass interference you just so you don't get it.
Had the great one in the building to watch this. Again, Ovechkin had 2 goals, and then tomorrow they're in New York, and then hosting Carolina Thursday. The New York game tomorrow is at 12:30 on TNT, Carolina Thursday, 7:30 at ESPN, and then you're getting ABC next Saturday for the Blue Jackets and for the Capitals. Probably won't matter at that point.
The record probably should.
It will be done.
It should be.
I'm going to say that. I think that's
it'd be nice if it wasn't.
I don't know, man. With what I saw from Elvis the other night in their loss.
Elvis is still in the building.
Yeah. Yes. He's got it.
You know what? Don't say that because I seen Elvis in person.
I know you did. You were there Tuesday night.
He did. He gave up 3 goals that night, but the majority of the time he was doing a wonderful job.
He played really well in that game against the Predators.
Yes, he did.
The Blue Jackets had a great many goals scored in that game against the Predators. They scored 3 the other night against the Avalanche. It's just that they gave up 7.
Yes.
And so you saw the frustration with Elvis. You saw him get pulled. And
they pulled him?
He might have pulled himself. It might have been one of those things.
It's been the relationship with him and this organization has been the biggest roller coaster ride I have ever seen.
The professional hockey goalie might come with the most mental baggage of any player in sport.
It's like every year it's up and down. And oh, he's doing great. Oh, he wants to be traded. Oh, they're back on good terms. Oh, they want to be traded. It's literally up and down with this relationship. It can't be healthy.
No, I can't imagine it. Now, for Elvis, he's been good this season. You got an .891 save percentage. He's been, I think, a very instrumental part of this team getting to where it is right now. We're only 4 points out of the 8th spot in the East. That, when we look back on this season, is going to be so much better than we thought things were going to go, considering how things began.
Yes.
Considering, to your point, where last year Elvis was asking for a new situation.
Yes.
And then Dean Evison, Don Waddell were able to come in and kumbaya this.
Yep.
But
I didn't realize that Elvis was a first-round pick.
Yeah. Been a lot invested in Merzlikins.
Yes, I didn't know
by this organization.
I learned that on Tuesday at the game.
It was your first time at Nationwide.
It was wonderful. I really enjoyed myself.
You saw everything.
I see why everybody, why people go to these games. Like it's really nice. Like, well, maybe I was spoiled a little bit, but
Kirill Marchenko gave you a hat trick.
I got to throw the hat.
You didn't throw your Guardians cap.
I wasn't the Guardians hat. I had a Blue Jackets hat. I threw it on the ice.
Safe to say you'll be back at Nationwide?
I would definitely go back to Nationwide.
Honestly, if you didn't have Big Ten Network responsibilities next week for the spring showcase /game,
I'd have been there.
You go to the building and watch Alex Ovechkin.
I think that one sold out, too.
Yeah, they've all been close to sellouts this season at Nationwide.
Yeah.
The fan base has been there for this team. They were there last season for this team when they were at the bottom of the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
This is as much, and I said this when we were doing the broadcast on Lane Avenue before the Stadium Series game. This is a hockey town. Is it the hockey town? No.
The crew, they got to become with it when I go.
Crew haven't lost this year.
When I go to a crew game, they got to come with it because that Jackets, whoo, man, I felt like I was at the shoe. That's how the energy. You just felt the energy of the building.
How was it your Cannon experience?
Oh, the first one that went off, I ducked. I thought I was in Cleveland.
Pretty good, huh?
It scared me.
It's such a good. They do such a good job at Nationwide.
But after that, obviously, I was aware of it, so I was good. But the first one, I jumped and got down.
You saw they did the Cannon Blast 8 times.
No, they did it 9 because they do it at the beginning of the game. Then they do it after 10 because then they did it at the conclusion of the game.
With the win. The Columbus Crew, again, have not lost a game. They're 3-0.
They on my list.
So
that's on my bucket list. And then a heavy metal concert with T-Bone, the Mosh Pit.
You've got an opportunity tonight at 7:30. They're playing Montreal at Lower.com Field. A heavy metal mosh pit could be in the running at the beginning of May.
Will you go with me?
Well, I'm going to Sonic Temple. And so Metallica's playing 2 of those nights.
So will you be in the mosh pit?
Hell no.
Why not?
I'm 5.5 feet tall.
What is that? You got to have a heart of a lion.
I do not.
I'm 6'3", 250.
I am the Tin Man.
I'm trying to throw. I just want to.
What was the one that needed the heart? Was the Cowardly Lion?
The Tin Man. No,
the Tin Man needed the heart. The Cowardly Lion needed courage.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm the Tin Man in this instance. I'm a short Tin Man. I'm the fire hydrant. I ain't going. I'm not going in a mosh pit.
Is the mosh pit really that rowdy?
Yeah. Especially for Metallica.
This is why I gotta see it. I have to see it with my own 2 eyes.
I will tell you this.
I gotta Google it. Can it on YouTube? Can I see something like this on YouTube?
Yeah.
The mosh pit.
You can see everything on YouTube.
I want to see what a mosh pit look like.
I'm so glad I'm rolling live so I can save that.
I want to see the mosh
What can't you see on YouTube?
Can I see that on YouTube?
Is my question to you. But I would say this. If you're looking for a mosh pit, that's probably the best one because you at least know Metallica songs.
Okay.
Like if you go, all the love to T-Bone. If you go to one of his shows that he would go to mosh in, you're going to have no idea who it is. So I'm at least going to give you the commercially viable option of Sonic Temple.
I just don't want to be the only dark-skinned guy.
Oh, you won't be.
See, you think so?
No, I know so.
Okay. That's hey.
You got to be ready for anything. When Bone went to that festival, was it in like Alabama or
Furnace
something?
Festival?
Yeah. When he went to that, I asked him to show me some videos of some of the bands. He said, I had no idea about this. Apparently there's room for people in the front row to go jump up on the stage and then jump off the stage and do their own crowd surfing. He said
I do that.
So they have that available.
I do that.
Hold on. But he said that there was one dude who jumped into the crowd and the crowd didn't catch him and he broke his leg.
Well, that also can happen. You run the risk.
So the concert's going on while the paramedics are rushing into the front row.
Really?
Yeah.
So at Sonic Temple, you can start to mosh in the back and they'll carry, or you can start to crowd surf in the back and they'll carry you to the front, and then they'll let you be deposited right in front of the stage. You will not be able to go to the stage and jump. They will tase you.
I want to. You want to crowd surf?
Nope, don't want to do that.
You'd be easy. You light.
I will, but I don't want to be. I don't want to be dropped.
They're not gonna drop you.
Yes, they will. Also, I don't need that many hands.
This could be
in wherever they go.
This could be the most incredible experience of my life, to go to a mosh pit and then get crowd surf with T-Bone. Man.
So I would talk.
We got to get that content for the fans.
In your conversations over the next couple of weeks with T-Bone. May 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th at Historic Crew Stadium. You'll have Korn, Metallica, Linkin Park, Metallica.
Linkin Park.
Linkin Park's there the Saturday show, so that'll be at May 10th.
I might have to call off.
You can probably get credentialed for it.
Here's what I keep asking.
Is that a fact?
Yes, you can, as a member of the media.
Oh, well, I can't do it then.
Here's what I keep asking, is we have a sales staff that I think has that has the know-how to put together a package for us to where we can go with an RV to the RV grounds at Sonic Temple and then do a show Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Make digital content from the grounds at Sonic Temple. And then we do our Saturday show in the morning. It would get off at noon, and then we would go and mosh.
So you go then?
Yeah, of course. I'm going anyway. I've already got tickets.
No, I'm saying you going to mosh.
No.
You just said that.
I would go to, provide content.
No.
I would go to, try to film you.
So you wouldn't go to jump in the crowd with me? You don't.
Tyvis. I am 5'5".
You're crowd surfing.
170 pounds.
I always seen it on movies. I didn't know it was a thing.
You are 6'3", 255 pounds.
I should be the heaviest person that crowd surf.
You will not be the heaviest person, but you might be size-wise the biggest.
I just want to see it.
I know you do.
T-Bone be in the mosh pit.
I don't know if he'll mosh either.
He better.
He just got an organ removed, man.
You think T-Bone would go with me to a mosh pit and not mosh with me?
Pre-appendix removal, maybe.
Well,
his appendix just got removed, man.
He got 6 weeks to recover.
So he does, but I still don't think that that's going to be the case.
Cole, you want to go to the mosh pit with me?
I'm in.
See? Cole will go.
All right, have fun, because Cole's tall. How tall are you?
6'4".
All right. That can survive in a mosh pit.
Have to do it
because you can see everything coming.
But we need Reeser in there to be carrying the people who are going to be
You're not getting me in there.
Crowd surfing, because Reeser can bench 225.
I will be
12
there.
to 13 times.
You might as well.
Nope.
You should want to see it up close. What me and Cole look like.
I've been to enough to. I've seen it. I don't need to see it anymore. I'm good.
Well, I need to.
I'll be in the
it.
stand.
I
know you do.
I gotta see it.
Let's get Joshua Perry too. Let's just get all the tall people. We'll just be standing up.
Josh ain't going.
No way.
He ain't going to no mosh pit. No way. I'm gonna ask him.
All right, ask him.
I'm gonna send him a text
and see what he says.
He's too busy being your mayor of Lewis Center.
It's true. Yeah. Talk to him about taxes. Did the Cavs clinch the #1 seed in the East? That's next. Sports Saturday on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Ever notice the yards with beautiful flowers but something missing? Yep, they didn't mulch, and it doesn't look finished. Put the finishing touches on your most beautiful garden ever at Oakland Nursery. Oakland has 2 cubic foot bags of Forever Black hardwood mulch, regularly $4.79 a bag, now just 4 bags for $10. Through April 13th, 2 cubic foot bags of quality Forever Black hardwood mulch, regularly $4.79 a bag, now just 4 bags for $10. No deliveries, limit 52 bags per visit. Hurry, this amazing sale ends after April 13th.
Hi, Kevin. How's my engine doing?
Well, you tell me, little lady.
What?
Ma'am, an engine is delicate. It's got a lot of parts. Rub it together.
Oh, is that so?
Lube her up real nice, and she'll purr like a kitty cat.
How do you know so much about engines?
Well, I spent a lot of time under that hood.
Babe, she is running hot. Let's go. And next time, I get to play the mechanic.
Rev up the romance with Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
Home values in Columbus are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for 2 things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Common Man and T-Bone.
And I'm thinking to myself, you've lost your will to live. You have to look over at somebody else and say, how do I like my meat? Get it however you want to get it.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on The Fan.
Yeah, boss asked us to get the Ohio Lottery kiosks ready for the new $20 scratch-off, $2 million extreme cash. With $38 million in total prizes, we had to go big. We had cup holders, monster truck tires, even installed air horns in case somebody reveals the extreme symbol and wins every prize on the scratch-off. Boss thinks the light show's a bit much, but gotta celebrate $2 million top prize winners somehow. So yeah, play $2 million extreme cash from the Ohio Lottery. And if you can tell my boss I did a good job, that'd be cool too. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
We're catching up with that famous deep-sea explorer, Jacques Black Jacques. Jacques, where are you today?
How?
You're in Columbus. What could you possibly be exploring in Columbus?
The April showers bring flooding to Batmans.
Oh, I see. Spring rains mean basements are flooding.
This not necessary. Apex Pros.
Not necessary. Call Apex Pros.
A simple zoom pump check.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble understanding this. Zoom pump check. Sump pump check. Are you saying sump pump check?
Oui.
Yes, of course. Sump pump check from the pros who knows at Apex Pros.
They come to your house.
They come to your house.
They test your zoom pump.
They test your, what is it again?
Zoom pump.
Some pump, right.
All with a 5-star guarantee.
All with a 5-star guarantee. Now, see, I understood that perfectly.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
We've all got our daydreams, right? Little things, big things, things you know one day you'll do. Then out of nowhere, cancer. And all your plans don't change a bit. I would know. I'm about to jump out of an airplane with my dad. Our first time skydiving solo. And my second year since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health. All right, Dad, let's go. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Showers continuing this afternoon, a bit breezy as well as temperatures warm into the mid-60s. Then we'll fall into the 50s this evening with continuing showers, and the rain threat continues overnight as we dip into the 40s, and temperatures will stay in the 40s throughout Sunday. Then, as rain tapers off Sunday evening, a few wet snowflakes are possible, but no accumulation is expected. I'm meteorologist Mike Joyce on 97.1 The Fan.
The two most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants. The pervert and the skivvies. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. Instead of annoying national people talking to you this weekend, we've opted for annoying local people. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
I was confused earlier this morning when looking at the schedule for today for Ohio State Student Appreciation Day. The doors open at 10:45. They're going to start things closer to noon. And I had wondered, well, that seems later than it was last year. No, it's the same time as last year. We were on later last year.
No, it was on 12 to 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're now 9 to noon.
Yes.
So that's where I was confused. We're probably not going to have too much reaction in the way of Ohio State Student Appreciation Day, but they are starting to trickle in over at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center and free roosters. So a great opportunity for students. I love events
go
like this.
Over there with my black ID, so I can get a free thing of rooster.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the idea that they do the Student Appreciation Day. I think that was an Urban Meyer invention, and I love the idea that they've
Urban invented that.
He did the first one. I can't remember which year.
Probably 12,
maybe.
I mean, that was his first year.
Yeah.
No, I don't recall. 13, I know for sure.
It was not his first season, but I do remember him coming up with the idea and thinking, that's really cool.
Look at him.
And especially now when I hope this doesn't happen, but everything can be sellable. I'm hoping Student Appreciation Day stays free, but you can maybe sell some elements of it and not necessarily sell it to students because students don't have money. They're college kids. But sell it to sponsors. If sponsors want to have a Roosters tent, or if sponsors want to have a Celsius tent or a Hydrate Me tent for students to come in and get hydrated and get fed before watching.
What do you think of Celsius?
It's fine.
Is that a energy drink?
It is.
Okay. I'm not an energy drink type of guy.
No? You're not a coffee guy either?
No.
Huh.
You just wake up with it, you know?
Uh-huh.
I just wake up just ready to go.
For those that don't, coffee every morning. Because I just don't wake up with it.
You drink coffee every morning?
Every morning.
Does that affect your bowel movement?
I just drink it till my eyes twitch and I stop.
Black?
Yes.
Okay.
It doesn't affect my BMs. It does go right through me. So you have to be careful and thank the Lord for longer commercial breaks. I know for the listeners it's not great, but for your pal Eric, sometimes you need a good 5.5 minute break.
Cole, do you drink
after coffee in the morning?
No, but I will. I don't regularly do it at all.
I would tell you the same thing I told Bodie. If you've made it 25, 26 years without having to use it,
31,
don't.
31.
Don't pick it up.
I don't feel, though, when I do drink it, maybe it's because I don't drink it enough, I don't feel the caffeine like flowing through me and like I don't feel amped up from it.
I feel like I'm too old for bad habits.
That's very true.
Like if I've done it 31 years without,
if you've been able to go that long,
just go ahead and finish it off.
Then no worries there. So
I will say what you said. I can't have a second cup of coffee. I have to stop at one for the exact reason.
Get too jittery. Do you do pre-workout at all?
No, that never did nothing for me either. I did it one. Like we were doing the Harley Davidson. They don't do it no more. They bothers me that they don't. But anyways, somebody was like, "Here, take this C4. Take this pre-workout." So I'm like, "Okay, what's it supposed to do?" They're like, "I'm telling you, you're gonna be feeling it on your skin and all that." I drank that C4. I walked in there.
You didn't get the itchies?
And I'm in there like, man, I feel the same way I felt before I took anything. It don't do nothing.
That's a good thing. If you don't need any extra.
It's a placebo.
For some. For others, I do think it has a desired effect. Pre-workout, I always itch.
You be itching?
So, yeah.
See, I would love to just see what that feels like.
And just take enough beta-alanine, I think.
Well, through Tri-State Men Health, I get my low T shot. Now, I was itching after that. Now, I'm ready to go. I felt like the
different kind of itching.
I felt like the Hulk.
You're itching to get it on. I'm itching. When you take the pre-workout itch, it's itching to get it off. Get
in that weight room after that low T shot. Whew, you be in there lifting the house.
I wonder if, that could be something that you do, is if Ohio State wanted to partner with a gym and then you have students go in there and try to do workouts against Ohio State football players. Like you do the bench press competition, you do a squat competition.
They would lose.
It'd be fun to try though. They have students race players.
Do they still do that?
They'll do one, I think, a 40-yard dash. Like pick the fastest kid from the
most
crowd.
embarrassing one was the one at Oklahoma where Hollywood Brown walked the guy down. He gave him like a 20-yard head start, and he still walked him down. It was ridiculous.
That's not ridiculous. That's not
20 yards?
Yeah.
Anybody give me 20 yards, you can cancel Christmas.
Okay, anybody gives you. I've said this forever, but only since I've known you. You're like part of the 99th percentile. Like you are the 1% of the 1% of human beings on this planet.
I wish somebody would look at me and say, I give you 20-yard head start. Okay. Okay.
Think DeVere?
What?
I'm asking.
You think DeVere
Dane?
You think they catch me?
I'm trying to think of the fastest people I know. You're the 3 fastest people I know.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm assuming you're the 3 fastest people. I don't really. All my friends are old and creaky and not fast.
I don't
doubt that.
I'm not running a 4.4. None of us are. None of us are running nothing we ran at the
What do you think you could run right now? You'd have to stretch.
Well, I don't do that.
I know you. That's why I said that.
I don't know, like a 4.
When was the last time you ran a 40? Because I know when we've done training camp, Bob will go out there and do like the conditioning tests.
Yeah, that's the condition. The conditioning
to see if he still got it.
Is it 2-300 still?
I have no idea what it is.
That's what he used.
I'm just assuming an Ohio State football conditioning test is tough as hell.
There's if it's 2-300s. I used to have the fastest time.
Explain what a 300 is.
2-300s is so what they did was they would take the field and you start at the goal line and you'll go to the 50. Mm-hmm. You'll go down and back, 6 times?
Would add up, yes.
Yes. So you do that. You have a time. And your time, you had to do it 2 times. And whatever your average of the time, it had to be a specific time. So for skill position, you probably say like 45 seconds, something like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but 45 seconds. Big skill had 50. Lineman had 55. Let's just say that. So when you did your 2 times, when they added them up and you averaged them out, it had to be 45 or 50, 55, something in there. Under that. If it wasn't, you had to take the test again.
How many times did you have to take it again?
None.
You were always.
I had one of the fastest times.
Always.
You know why? Because I went out there and I said to myself, this was my mindset back when I was bagging. Say, I'm not taking this test ever again. This is going to happen one time. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to run it as hard as I possibly, because it's only 2 times. So I'm going to go out there and run it as hard as I possibly can 2 times. And after that, I'll just die and pass out. But now I'll at least know I don't have to take it no more.
We had asked the question on Bishop and Friends yesterday. Again, that lifestyle, leisure, and sports show you can get weekdays 9 to noon with the spring game next week. Because Bo had floated the idea to put Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith in black jerseys. Those are the non-contact uniforms that players would wear and not get hit. Not famously worn by Cardale Jones in a spring game when Urban Meyer just said, get him.
He's live.
Quarterback's live.
Cardale's live.
We had close to 200 respondents to that poll, and 80% said yes. Put Caleb, put Jeremiah in the black jersey and limit the contact.
They wouldn't wear it. They would literally go out there and say, you know what it is. I'm not putting that jersey on, but we're just not going to contact. Which is exactly what they're going to do regardless.
Because for both of those players, and especially for Caleb Downs, that feels like you've got to manage his workload in the spring because he was the one of every player on that national championship team that took the most reps. Here's Matt Guerreri, Ohio State safeties coach, on that workload from Caleb this spring.
Yeah, he's done a good amount of things, so it's not like he hasn't done a good amount of stuff. He has. It makes a difference when he's on the field for us, for sure. But when he's not been out there, it's been great to be able to put the other guys out there, right? And then there you have to communicate and direct traffic. So part of that is, certain things we want to see out of Caleb, certain things we say, hey, let's hold Caleb in these situations, let's put the other guys out there. So he's been a mixed bag of both.
Now, for Downs, to me, it's like I don't know how much you need to see, but if you're the new defensive coordinator, if you're trying to replace 8 starters on the defensive front, you got to kind of manage. It's a fine line to walk because you do have to have him out there with the ones or the guys you're going to think are going to be the ones while also trying to have him rest.
Yeah, but right now for him, it's trying to learn the playbook, learn what the changes are. A lot of the things that he can do, he can accomplish just taking mental reps. He can just stand on the sideline and watch the safety that's in and watch what he does and be like, okay, this is how I would do it. Even there are even times where they might have a safety stand 40 yards behind the play. You can stand back there and just do your reps, walk through so you can see it from like a safety's point of view where, all right, my eyes would be here. I'm looking at this. Like that's taking a rep without physically taking the rep. And as long as he's doing that, he's fine. Because when the physical part comes, we know that he's good enough to do those things. So if I was him and I was trying to save my body, those are the type of reps I take. I'd stand like 40 yards behind the play and just do my stuff right there from there.
So that'll be about half an hour at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. They'll do Student Appreciation Day, and then you will see Caleb Downs on the field next Saturday for Ohio State spring game. Just, I think the threat of him out there, not doing a ton, but you do, I think, want to see him and Jeremiah Smith and how they play with the ones. And then I do think you want to see how the whole thing looks in a game environment.
Yeah.
Not a ton.
I mean, you know what it's going to look like for them. I mean,
you know what it's going to look like for them individually. But I do think because Matt Patricia and Brian Hartline are so new into their positions, I think it would benefit them to just see it all at least for a little bit. But we will see how that looks. But again, that will be next Saturday. Last night, the Cincinnati Reds put a halt to a not-so-great streak. We'll tell you about it next. Sports Saturday on the Fan.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
We've lowered prices. You can save 15% or more on hundreds of items like Thomas Mini Bagels, Campbell's SpaghettiOs, and more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman here for Germain Honda of Dublin. So what's the difference? There are other Honda dealers around. Well, Rich Newsom and his team want to earn your trust. They don't expect it, and they earn it by giving you a great price, and then they back it up after the sale. With same-day service, no appointment necessary, a great variety of brand new Hondas, and hundreds of pre-owned certified Hondas to choose from, all at the same location. Identify yours at GermainHondaofDublin.com. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination. Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
So you heard in the last segment from Matt Guerrieri, Ohio State's safeties coach. It's been a very eventful week for him. He pulled Blaine Bradford out of the South. He's the second best player in Louisiana, one of the top-ranked safeties in the class of 2026. They've also got five-star safety Braylon Womack in town today for Ohio State's Student Appreciation Day. So
safety love.
Look
at this.
You get some of the top-rated defensive backs out of the South. You're doing one hell of a recruiting job.
Where you say this Womack is?
So Womack is out of Mississippi.
Okay.
Hartfield Academy in the class of 26. 5'11", 195 pounds. He also holds offers from Auburn, Texas A&M, Florida, and 24/7 Sports say he's cooling on Alabama. But still, when you hold offers from those four schools and the Buckeyes, getting him on campus, I think, for an event like this will do a lot added on to what's already been done recruiting-wise defensively for the class of 26.
Seems like he's more, because I know they got two safety commits, but one's probably going to play linebacker.
Yeah, Simeon Caldwell.
Yeah, the other one's more of a hitter who's more of a close to the box, close to the line of scrimmage type of safety. But this 5'11", that sounds like more of a post safety. So he's probably got some speed. I'd have to watch his tape. But the one safety that they got from Louisiana, he is a hitter. That guy is like darn near a linebacker. So I worry about his coverage ability, which is something that he's gonna have to work on over the next 4 years, or 3 years, whatever he decides. But yeah, I like him though. He's a good talent.
Things are going well for Ohio State in that class of 2026. Buckeyes have 10 commitments, 2 5-stars, 6 4-stars, a pair of 3 stars. They are third right now behind Clemson and USC. Now, it's still ridiculously early because with those commits that we mentioned, with Braylon Womack, who's in town today, those things at this point only seek to increase the offers by other schools. And I also speak to Ohio State on that. Like if Womack's here, if he adds that Florida State official visit, then likely that's just where they say, what is this school offering you? Well, we'd like to think about maybe offering you more. This is the game that we're playing right now in college athletics. The game that was played on the baseball diamond last night in Milwaukee saw the Cincinnati Reds actually score runners. It had been.
Don't do that.
What do you mean? They entered last night going 28 innings without scoring a run. They had lost 3 straight games by a score of 1-0. That's the most in the modern era.
Okay.
Finally, in the 8th, they got 2 across. And so that drought ends at 35 innings without scoring a run. They still fell to the Brewers 3-2. But hey, it's not 1-0.
It's back. Listen.
And it's another game awaits you.
Everybody is in panic mode nowadays.
Here's my question. At what point, Tyvis, do you say this team's going to be good? Like, what do you wait to? I'll just give you mine. After Memorial Day is when I judge a team. I will judge this Guardians operation after Memorial Day weekend.
Well, you was worried about the Padres series.
I didn't think I thought at best they'd take one of 3. Okay. Padres are a damn good team. I don't think they've lost yet.
I think they lost yesterday.
All right, then.
They lost 3-1
yesterday.
Lost
one game.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, it's people still ironing things out, still trying to figure things out. People got to catch their rhythms. Like I tell you what, Jose had.
He had 3 home runs in last night's win against the Anaheim Angels. Guardians won 8-6 in that contest.
Ooh, man!
I said this after the Padres series. It'll be good for the Guardians to go play a team that they should beat. And the Angels are a team they should beat.
I had said that if they lost to the Angels, like if they got swept by the Angels, like
that would not be great.
I said I like work. My concern would be slight, but it'd be there for sure. But yeah, obviously they did a really good job. I think Tanner Bybee's on the bump today, so hopefully they can pull that one out. But the season's early. With the Reds, they got a new manager. He's still filling guys out, trying to figure out when to have trust guys in certain spots.
Yeah.
Like it's so much, and it's way too early for all of that. I think you're right about after Memorial Day, things to really kind of pick up. Teams start to show who they are around that time. They start hitting their stride, and you can kind of figure out who's going to be who. At the end of the day, the Dodgers is one of the best teams, and it's going to take a lot to beat the Dodgers. But not saying it can't be done.
I don't think there's. Again, I'm not going to award a World Series in April, but Los Angeles is also 8-1, so that's the best record or the best start to a season by a defending World Series champion.
Yeah, they're stacked. I think they lose today, though.
So who do the Dodgers? The Philadelphia. All right, they're at Philadelphia playing the Phillies. That game's at 4:05
because they got Rory Suzuki is on the mound.
Roki Sasaki.
Cole said it properly.
Roki Sasaki.
There you go.
Rory Suzuki.
The Atlanta Braves got off the schneid. They were 0-7.
Yeah, they were doing bad.
They beat the Marlins last night 10-0. Kind of like the Guardians. It's always good when you can whoop a team's ass.
Didn't they beat the Dodgers? I think they didn't.
No.
They didn't get the Dodgers their first loss?
The Phillies gave the Dodgers their first loss.
Oh.
The Braves got swept.
I thought the Braves won one of those games.
So a team's never started 0-7 and made the playoffs.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, I think the Braves could be the first.
Yeah, I'm about to say, don't do that. They'll be fine.
Again,
is Ronald Acuna back yet?
No.
He's still coming back from his ACL.
Yeah, I think they're confident in his return.
Yeah, I
don't know what the hell that means.
He will be a big boost if he gets back to who he was, because he was like a top 3 player in the league when he was playing. So if he gets back to that, they need that back in their line.
I asked you earlier in the show, but did a bad job paying off on that tease. And by you, I mean the fans or whoever's listening to this program. The Cavs had clinched. They did not. They did hold off a late rally by the Spurs, 114-113 last night in San Antonio. Their magic number is 1. So if Cleveland beats Sacramento tomorrow at 6 p.m.
What is this if? They better. I know what happened the last time, but they better.
Okay. That's at 6 p.m. They went into Friday knowing that if they beat the Spurs and the Suns beat the Celtics, then the Cavs get the number 1 seed in the East. But now, because of Boston winning, it is all up to Sunday. All of this right now, Tyvis, is an added bonus to this special season for Cleveland because they're going right now 62-15. They're only the 3rd team in franchise history to win 60 or more games in a season.
How many games left? 5?
Yes, that sounds right.
Are you saying that they should go for the record?
Yeah. I'm saying go for as many. I'm saying once you lock up the 1 seed, which is either tomorrow or Tuesday, I'm saying take those next 3 games, though, and play as hard as possible. Like, don't take – because it's after Sacramento, Chicago, Indiana, New York, Indiana. You're playing the Pacers twice, the Knicks once.
Yeah, but they're not going to play – a lot ain't going to play in that back-to-back game. I'm going to tell you that now. What's that, the Pacers the last game?
Yeah, Thursday and Friday is the back-to-back, and then they close the season next Sunday hosting the Pacers. I think you don't play everybody in one of those 2 back-to-backs. I think you're right, because you're in Indiana, then you're in New York to play the Knicks. The home game, the season finale against Indiana, you play everybody, and you put on the best show for the fans.
In the last game, you play everybody?
Yeah, last game of the season. Now, minutes, I think maybe you can do some minute restrictions.
No, it's going to be once number 1 get clinched, it's the minute restrictions start.
That I would be fine with.
Yeah. Some people like, no, I want them to. No, you don't. Some people, I don't want them to play no more after that. No, because I don't want them to play. I don't want them to get rusty at all. I want them to let your minutes get restricted. I want you to still go through warm-ups. I still want you to go out there and know that you're playing in the game and work on something.
Right. It's like we talk with Ohio State in the spring game. You need as many game-like reps as possible because nothing replicates it quite like that.
Yes.
Speaking of Ohio State's spring game that now we're calling the spring game, you'll hear from Ryan Day on that coming up next. It's Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Feeling unsure about preparing your roof for spring storms? Newman Roofing is here for you. For over 30 years, we've helped homeowners understand their roof's conditions so they can make the best decision for their home. Stop worrying and call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com today. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
At Diamonds Direct, we believe luxury is an experience and not a price tag. Luxury is expert guidance. It's the selection of 10 jewelry stores under one roof. It's saving time on endless comparison shopping, and you'll only find this experience at Diamonds Direct. Our luxury showroom has it all backed by our lifetime warranties and our signature best price guarantee. Diamonds Direct is the perfect combination of luxury and value, so you don't ever have to compromise. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Visit shelterinsurance.com to find an agent to help you pick a policy that's right for you. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Huntington is banking that just clicks. Like asterisk-free checking. An account that's filled with features, but no monthly maintenance fee, no matter what. Because it's your money, right? So we think you should keep it. It's just one more way we're looking out for people every day. Is your bank looking out for you? Maybe it's time to switch. Visit your neighborhood Huntington branch or make the switch at huntington.com/yourmoney.
Hey Sports Cards fans, I'm Jeff with my buddy Adam, and we run Huggy Kissy Bear breaks on the Whatnot app. What's a card break? Simple. We open boxes of cards live, you pick your team, and we send you all the hits. With over 2,300 5-star reviews, we're all about you. New to card breaks? No sweat. We've got you covered with a sweet welcome package from us. Download the Whatnot app and follow us on Instagram and TikTok to view all of our past Sugar Bear hits. Huggy Kissy Bear Breaks, where collectors win big.
Save big money on your roofing project at Menards. Atlas Shingles provide the best value in residential roofing, featuring a limited lifetime warranty and up to 130 miles per hour wind warranty. Plus, save time and labor with their super wide design. Choose from 20 styles in stock, ready to take home today. Stop in to shop our wide selection of roofing products or visit Menards.com for more great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards. All of our local shows have been ranked in the top 10 in the country by our industry peers, except for Timmy Hall and the Buckeye Show. I was going to make a joke about it, but it's more sad than anything. Poor Timmy, the fan.
When your sump pump is no longer sumping and pumping, please don't become a sump pump grump.
A sump pump grump thinks whacking the pump will make it start working again.
But it never does.
Get an Eco.
ECO. A sump pump grump will let a faulty sump pump completely ruin a perfectly good day.
Fortunately, I've invented a solution.
No more sump pump grump?
No more sump pump grump.
Get an Eco.
ECO. Tell me about it, Jerry.
The solution is that you get Eco to do a sump pump inspection.
What would that include?
We check your pump, your battery backup, and all the downspouts and drains along the way to make sure everything is running clear.
How much?
That's up to you, Aaron.
Jerry, Eco would be happy to do that for just $89.
That's a great price.
Get an Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
Go to geteco.com.
Hi, Kevin. How's my engine doing?
Well, you tell me, little lady.
What?
Ma'am, an engine is delicate. It's got a lot of parts. Rub it together.
Oh, is that so?
Lube her up real nice, and she'll purr like a kitty cat.
How do you know so much about engines?
Well, I spent a lot of time under that hood.
Babe, she is running hot. Let's go. And next time, I get to play the mechanic.
Rev up the romance with Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a room of rejected mascot memorabilia. Is it real? No one knows. But we do know NJM is proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring into savings at Ohio Mulch. Get 5 bags of red, black, or brown mulch for just $10.95 now through April 5th. Save $50 on home delivery too. Visit OhioMulch.com today.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution Specialists.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
They're doing morning skate in Toronto in advance of tonight's game against the Maple Leafs. The Blue Jackets going with Elvis Merzlikins between the pipes.
After he got pulled.
After he got pulled.
Or he pulled himself.
Well, he was not on the ice for the remaining 3 minutes of their game the other night against the Avalanche. You had Daniil Tarasov, but I think it's very important. If this team is going to make the kind of push to get into the playoffs, you got to let Elvis get over that game.
I agree. I mean, the best way to get over something is to get back out there.
Right.
So he probably feels he owes down. I owe y'all a game, so he's going to stand on his head tonight.
Well, you hope. They need him. They'll need him to against the Maple Leafs. And then maybe, depending on how tonight goes, you'll have Tarasov with you, so he could factor in against the Ottawa Senators. Good news is about Ottawa, you're not needing them to not get points. You're not catching them. They're in the 7 spot. You need the 8 spot, and so you are 4 back of the Montreal Canadiens. That's what matters for the Blue Jackets.
You got to play some good hockey on the way out.
You need points.
At the end of the day, you got to control what you can control. You know, you could go out. Right. All we can do is try to win this game. If it's close, try to keep it close. Go to overtime. Try to sneak 2 points out of it. But that's it. Like, you can't really worry about what's ahead of you. You got to hope that they just hit a rough patch and you're able to catch them. But if you don't score your points or you don't get the points, the 2 or the 1 point, it doesn't matter anyway.
This is a almost single elimination stretch, right? Every game almost might have you either in or closer to being in or just out completely. If you come home from Canada, so when the Blue Jackets are back nationwide next week hosting the Ottawa Senators, that's a Tuesday game, and you've got 0 points from that Canada road trip, the fork's in you.
Yes.
You are done.
Yeah.
You're also rooting for the Philadelphia Flyers taking on the Canadiens tonight at 7. Just in the event of, but you control what you can control, which is the game against the Maple Leafs.
I just want one final push, one good push at the end.
Yeah, I think this.
If they just can't catch them because the Canadians is just doing well, like that's another story. But like to drop games, like this, it's a lot to be desired.
But it is, I think, a good teaching tool or a good learning experience, that 6-game losing streak, because that's really where it just went.
Yeah.
It went all to hell for this idea
won the stadium
of
series,
going to the playoffs.
And then it just was like...
You've got so many younger players that can learn from that and make it a thing that they go, I'm never doing that again. We're never playing like that again. We're never practicing like that again. We're never preparing like that again. When we hear people tell us you're the story of the season or you're one of the darlings of the hockey league,
they believed it. They read their press clippings.
Hard not to when you're that young. Hard not to when you've been part of an organization that for the most part gets laughed at and called Mickey Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
When you finally have the attention, the serious attention of the hockey world, that kind of stuff's easy to say, yeah, we are pretty great. This is pretty great. Look at us.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come to reality when you face teams like the Panthers and the Senators and the Lightning and the Avalanche. You're not there yet. So that's the standard you're trying to get to. Even with the Avalanche, I keep thinking that they had travel issues because they were in Chicago on Wednesday. Travel issues held them up in the Windy City before coming to Columbus on Thursday. They were still able to put 7 on you.
Yeah.
That's a professional organization that's competing for a Stanley Cup.
Didn't they clinch that night?
They did.
Yeah.
Their virtue of beating the Blue Jackets clinched them a playoff spot. This coming Thursday, Ryan Day is going to be a guest on Bishop and Friends. That'll be at 11:30 in the morning.
Ooh.
So likely one of his final times to speak with anybody in the media before Ohio State does their spring game. Love the idea that they went back to labeling it game. From here on out, it is the spring game. Because I've told you this before, it does mean a lot to the players, but the spring game at Ohio Stadium means so much to this community, means so much to this Ohio State fan base. To call it anything else or to try and dress it up as anything else does a disservice.
Would you have been sad if they did a 7-on-7?
Yeah.
You would have been?
I would have been sad.
Why?
Because the tradition of the spring game is so rich with this community.
But you do realize, like, it would be the same thing.
I do. No, it wouldn't be the same thing.
It would.
It would be different. It would not. Tyvus, you cannot dress that pig up and say this is.
They don't run. It's not like they're going to tackle the running backs.
You would paint a pig spots and say, no, it's a cow.
Mm.
Like, I know what I'm looking at, Tyvus. This isn't that. If I were to go to the spring showcase,
you would have
and it's 7-on-7.
Have a good time. That ball flying.
I'd have a good time because I'd buy some beer and watch some football. But it wouldn't be the same.
You know they sell lemonade.
Oh, is it good?
I would. It better be.
What do you mean? Have you not had it?
No.
Oh, okay. Why haven't you had? Wait, the lemonade they sell at Ohio Stadium you have not had?
Correct.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Oh, well,
I haven't been to Ohio Stadium like that often since
you were back. You were just there in March.
Why was I there in March?
Spring game or for the Stadium Series.
They didn't. I was in the press box. They didn't have.
They didn't have the lemonade there.
No.
All right. Well, maybe in the next season, you can get the hookup for lemonade sold at Ohio Stadium for the spring game next week. Here's Ryan Day. He joined Morning Juice earlier this week. A little bit about what fans should expect next Saturday.
The spring game itself, I think it's important to get some of our young players out there, and we will celebrate some of the players from last season. So a celebration of those guys in the past, but also a sneak peek into the next year, into the future. And I think it's going to be a great day of football. Some cool ceremonies, at halftime and things like that. So the spring game will be a great environment. I think it'll be awesome to have great crowd there for our guys to feel what game day is going to be like in that first one against Texas.
As close as you can to try to replicate the environment that Texas is going to bring.
I mean,
there's nothing that can do it 1-to-1. This will be close.
No, yeah, you're right about that. I mean, you want to get like you said, you want to get as many game reps as possible. You know, you got a lot of young guys that you're going to be dependent on.
Yep.
That, you know, yeah, we might have seen them, but like to be the starter and be the guy,
It's
like
different.
it's different. Trust me, I'd have been in that situation where, you know, just even from going to start nickel to starting safety, like it's two totally different things. You know, nickel, you might play a couple of plays here and there. When you on the field every play, like it's a different type of preparation, and these guys got to be prepared for it. And on top of that, with the quarterback situation for both teams, you know, that's going to be the biggest question marks. Can these guys handle it? Which one of these guys is going to settle in? Hopefully, Ohio State is quicker to do it than Texas.
Yeah, you hope.
Yeah.
But to the point that I made earlier in the show, every school, I think, that is seriously competing for a national championship, no, not you, Penn State. I don't have faith in Drew Aller or James Franklin.
I don't have faith in Drew Aller either. That's hilarious.
There's questions at quarterback.
You're the
There's
second person to say
questions.
that to me in like the past 48 hours.
Uh-huh. And I'm probably going to be, it's probably going to be said to you multiple other times in your work with the Big Ten Network or in your other roles on the Fan or in the UltimateClevelandSportsShow.com period.
They also didn't do a lot of getting him weapons.
No, they did nothing.
No.
Oh, they didn't do nothing. They got a couple of wide receivers out of the transfer portal that they think can be home run hitters.
Yeah, whatever.
But I don't know if those aren't just the same thing they did with Julian Fleming last year. Oh, hey, we picked him up and he had some stars next to his name when he was in high school, but
They need to. I wonder what happened to him.
Tyler Warrens don't grow on trees.
He was a big safety blanket.
Yes, he was. He even played quarterback. And then they had Bo Pribula.
He's gone to Iowa, right?
Yep.
So they'll be
Mizzou.
Oh, he went to Mizzou.
Black and gold.
Yeah, got him confused. Hopefully he does well.
Sure.
I don't know. Is it Drew Aller? He got hot at the end of the year, but I just can't get off the mind that he said that he tried to dirt a ball that he literally threw straight to a guy.
No, he did not try to dirt that ball.
Yeah, I don't know what he did. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yes, we will see. We will see with Ohio State come next Saturday. Again, pregame coverage of the spring game, 11:45 next Saturday on The Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
We've all got it, you know, that one crazy thing you've always wanted to do, that bucket list goal. Then a cancer diagnosis, and that one thing still goes according to plan. I would know. I'm getting my first tattoo right now, while my 3 beautiful daughters laugh hysterically at me. 58 years old, 4 years of cancer-free checkups at Ohio Health. Go ahead and get a picture, girls. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans.
I'm an old school Joe. I never lay juice I don't want to lay. I don't hate my money like that. I'd rather lay -108 than -110, wouldn't you? Prime Sports is Ohio's full-time reduced juice sports book. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yeah, boss asked us to get the Ohio Lottery kiosks ready for the new $20 scratch-off, $2 million extreme cash. With $38 million in total prizes, we had to go big. We had cup holders, monster truck tires, even installed air horns in case somebody reveals the extreme symbol and wins every prize on the scratch-off. Boss thinks the light show's a bit much, but gotta celebrate $2 million top prize winners somehow. So yeah. Play $2 million extreme cash from the Ohio Lottery. And if you can tell my boss I did a good job, that'd be cool too. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I always have the greenest lawn in the neighborhood. It's luscious. I swear by 2 things, water and Weed Man. Weed Man is locally owned and operated by Corbin and Audrey. They will make sure your lawn is weed-free and looking gorgeous. Of course, they get rid of weeds, but they also do aeration, mosquito control, grub control, crabgrass prevention, and flea and tick control for your 4-legged friends. For a free quote, give them a call, 614-733-3747, weedmanusa.com. Tell them Common Man sent you.
Buckeye Lake Marina Open House is Friday, April 11th through Sunday, April 13th. Register to win some cool prizes and the grand prize of a weekend getaway at the lake, valued at over $3,000. Includes an Airbnb, a boat for the weekend, and $1,000 in lake area gift certificates. Buckeye Lake Marina will have the indoor showroom packed. Plus, you can visit the Docks and Marina store during the open house, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, April 11th through 13th. And you could win the grand getaway at Buckeye Lake. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for details. April 11th through 13th at Buckeye Lake Marina.
The Roofing Guys are your locally owned, trusted family business right here in Central Ohio. They've been hammering quality and service through the roof for over 25 years, offering professional services in roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Contact them at theroofingguys.com.